Many competitors dream of holding the primetime Xbox Championship. Now, with the gold vacant and FSK Fadnator waiting in the wings, two teammates will step foot inside the cage for one right to challenge the belt in a title eliminator. One of these men is FSK Keza. His journey to primetime gold has been full of ups and downs, but Keza has a chance to rectify all these past losses with one big win here tonight. The FSK hopeful has it all underlying: the skill, the determination, and let's not forget the passion. Keza, a name spoken through the community for being one of the most exciting fighters on the primetime roster, and an assassin waiting to strike. The only thing standing between him and the title shot is one man. Insert FSK, goddamn my pig. A man who knows no boundaries for his skills, and the sky is the limit when it comes to competing. Gamp, one of the most feared names in the community. Once he stares at you across the cage, it is as though he's a trained sniper, has locked his sights onto his target and doesn't intend on missing the shot. Gamp crumbles the competition with his aggressive wrestling that causes many to rage and doubt themselves. An aggressor that knows no limits. What will happen when two friends step inside the octagon and the door is locked behind them? Will punches be pulled? Two men who spar every day and know each other inside and out. Which men can expose the other weaknesses first? And will their friendship carry on through to Saturday morning, when one of these men will have been beaten? It's a three-man FSK horse race to the championship. Isn't it okay if FSK has the belt? Or are these three men out for themselves and don't have an issue crumbling their teammates' dreams to hold the gold? Only time will tell. Sit back, cheer for your camp, and watch as these two friends fight for glory. Welcome to Primetime. So, that was my introduction. I will be your host, the Doctor, on tonight's primetime event. And joining me in the booth tonight is Matty D and Mr. Perp Dog.
Looking forward to calling some great fights tonight, Doc. Can't wait for that main event. Going to be an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Two Flow State Kings camp members. Both of them just throw complete balls to the wall. Very little strategy involved. Sometimes just go straight at you to take your head clean off. Perp, what you thinking about the main event?
Man, I can't wait to see this one. As you said, man, they're camp members. They know each other inside and out. This is going to be a battle. I cannot wait to see it. And I mean, this whole card is just absolutely stacked. So I cannot wait to get down with this.
Yeah, this entire card, as you've seen from top to bottom, is a slight couple change. I think our first fight has been changed just slightly, but sometimes we'll go evidently eating a bit too much food pre-fight. From the card top to bottom, though, you got Keza versus Gamp in that main event. In the co-main, you got Humble versus Big Balls Ned May. Across the card, it's a fun old time, you've got to admit.
Oh, of course. A fight which in particularly catches my eye, I'd have to say, on the main card. It's actually a fight which wasn't originally planned, but Dirty Dave versus KM Valentine, two Xbox ESFL competitors. Dave, known for his great grappling. Valentine, pardon me, known for his great technical strike, and I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, man. Dirty Dave is he gets you on the ground, man, and he is one of the most frustrating people to go to play against when it gets to coming to the ground game. And KM Valentine, we've all seen his work as well. That is a match I have my eye on. And KI Humble versus Big Balls Ned is going to be absolutely insane. I cannot wait for that one.
Yeah, Big Balls.
Obviously, Humble being a veteran of Primetime, done a lot of work for the league. He's getting close to being at the very top right now. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's very high up in the rankings right now on a win streak.
Yeah, Humble's made it very close. His last was against AJ Bizan, if I remember correctly. And he's looking for a title shot. We've got Filthy Uncle Ben tomorrow in that pay-per-view slot. So, again, very close in terms of competition. That fight is Ned's. I think he's about 1-1, so it's quite a leap up in competition. Although, if I remember correctly, he has beaten Humble both times within a league fight setting. So, Matty, you've got to imagine that fight itself is going to be very closely contested, and it'll be a peculiar time to see how that evolves and see who does it.
Yeah, no, it's obviously got to be like a very big jump up in competition from being 1-1 to fighting a top 5 contender in KIA Humble. But I think sometimes some people, the pressure breaks them like that. Sometimes it makes them rise to the occasion, perform better than they ever have. And I think that's what you're going to get out of Big Balls Ned.
Yeah. Yes. Speaking of pressure, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ned's been in this situation a couple times in a shot for the title, and I think he may have crumbled a few times before that. So let's see if he rises to the occasion right here.
Yeah, moving down further the card, we've mentioned, we talked a lot about the co-main. You've got Dave versus Valentine. They're looking to put a fight in the heavyweight division. You've got Cam Caliber in the bantamweight. You've got Avoider versus Jakey in women's bantamweight, of all things, May. And then you've got Lepo versus Optimus Jojo in welterweight.
Yeah, those prelims are completely stacked up to the complete maximum right now. I don't know how some of them fights are on the prelims, but here we are. Like, just saying Avoider versus Jakey, what a fight that is. Jakey, he's been on a little slide recently in prime time, but he's still obviously one of the top contenders out there. Perp, is there any big fights on the prelims that you're looking forward to in particular?
Man, I see that G-Man and that Salvador fight right there, man. We all know G-Man. He's a veteran of prime time, and he loves to go to the ground. He's very, very skilled. I'm very interested in seeing how that one goes, and always interested in my campmates lightweight Lepo versus Optimus Jojo. I cannot wait to see what Lepo does in the octagon right there, man. And myself, as fight number 3, I'm excited to get going, man. This is going to be a great time.
We're always excited to get a fight. I think these two opponents are still just lobbying up and waiting to get doing it. Evidently, it ate a bit too much tiramisu to begin with, if that's the way it's going to be. We may have a slow card, but nonetheless a good card, Matty.
Oh, yeah, completely stacked from top to bottom. I mean, you've got AJ's Walker versus TFA Juggy as the second fight of the prelims. Like, obviously, when you see someone like that, you know for a fact that the card's going to be completely stacked there. Going on to that fight there, obviously, AJ's versus TFA, it's not unknown that them two camps have a little bit of a rivalry, so it'll be interesting to see that rivalry coming to a front in that match there. I think that's the only match of them cards, but Perp, is there any other thing which catches your eye throughout the entire card?
Good. We seem to have lost him, sadly, just for a bit. But it looks at these two matchups are finally getting into the lobby, finally cutted down the last bits of pounds, so we should be good to go. All fingers crossed. Slight change to the graphic. Mystic Mac evidently could not make weight, and so instead we've had the ever mighty Brady fill in for tonight's show.
Brady's always one who's ready to replace. I remember he replaced on last week's card, if I do remember correctly. We always appreciate people stepping up and taking the fights on short notice, putting it out all on the line. Seeing an Anthony Pettis pick out of him there, that's a very interesting choice, and maybe a Mark Casey out of Rye Jones.
Well, and imagine there's a few people in TM.
This would be an interesting matchup, and big shout out to Brady. That's a big step up right there. Easily a main card fighter, So if this is going to be however you say, Mark Diakesi versus Pettis, this is going to be very interesting. A battle of the kickboxers.
Seems it will be a battle of the kickboxers. It is Anthony Pettis in the red gloves being played by Brady. Mark DeCasey in the blue gloves being played by AJS Roy Jones. Both of them seem to be 0-0 on each other, so it's the first time they've fought. We're joined by the commentators, it seems like, for once. So you're going to have to bear with us on that one. Hopefully we should be into this fight pretty soon after all the weight cutting they've been doing, Matty.
A little bit extra time, little bit of delay. We apologise about that, but we're getting right into it there. No glove touch, which is interesting as we start off. Just a very slow feeling out process. It's always like that when you get these technical matches, isn't it, Purple?
Oh yeah, man. Especially when you got someone like Pettis or Diakasi, you want to get those. You want to set up those big strikes, man. You want to see what your opponent's doing. So naturally, and these two probably haven't met before. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up against each other.
Well, slow and steady seems to be the waist. I say that as he throws a kick, ducks into that uppercut there. Brady already nearly getting clipped a few times. He's got to stay careful, got to stay patient. But it seems Casey's wanting to stay on this back foot and move on the outside. Pettis he's wanting to put forward. But, Matty, if he doesn't block off the cage correctly, doesn't cage cut in the correct manner, you know how well pressure forward goes.
Yeah, obviously, as someone who likes to pressure forward, you need to make sure you're cutting off that cage all the time. And I think he's doing a really good job because he's using these hooks, he's using these roundhouse body kicks. He's doing a good job of pressuring Ry Jones back, but he's doing a good job of answering the pressure right now though, is Ry Jones.
Yeah, as I see Brady he's doing a good job of cutting that cage off and making him stay in that corner. But, I mean, as I say that, Diakasi getting more of the cage back as he rocks him right there. It's a big uppercut.
That's a big body stun as well. Pettis now putting on his pressure again. Lead hook into the body kick is the main combo, it seems like, of Brady. He does land the edge kick, couple of hooks and uppercuts forward. Comes back in retaliation. Another body kick lands. It seems like that rear body kick is just shot of the night for Brady by the seams of it, May.
Well, it's the Southpaw versus Orthodox. It's a well-known thing that it works as he lands a beautiful double kick combo there. Rocks the body for the second time in this fight. You can already see the stamina disadvantage that Ry Jones is at now. It's playing dividends, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, man. Brady is teeing off on that body now. Oh, but he gets another rock.
You don't need to worry about the stam if your opponent's unconscious. Evidently, Diakasi is trying his hardest to do it.
Yeah, but I think what you're seeing is here, he gets his big moment, he comes forward and he stuns him to the head, but then he just overcommits, which is the last thing that you want to do when you've got somebody trying to counter and work your body like Brady is doing right now.
Yeah, man, and Ry Jones, he's got to do better at blocking the body. I mean, he's already got it critically hurt one time, and I see way too many of these roundhouses landed to the body, and he's not going to make it into the later rounds if he doesn't start protecting it.
That body is definitely the way to do it.
There it goes again.
That's another
Drops
body drop.
Body shot.
What a beautiful
combo
right there.
Right now.
That is absolutely one of my favorites.
With one
to
at the end of
finish
the
off
round.
the
What a
round.
beautiful fucking performance in that round from Brady.
Man, can't say enough about that round for the body. I am a body work, connoisseur, man. That's what I love. And that right there was a showcase. Man, he took advantage of that low stamina and he ran with it.
You can see the stamina disadvantage right now for Ry Jones, which is going to play massively into these final two rounds, especially after having lost the first round.
Well, a straight there, another body hook. He's got to be wary of being in the pocket, and an overhand does land. Evidently, Ry Jones is just hoping for any type of shot. Another body kick, and that's what I was talking about. He gets the knockdown, and that's the issue here. You've got to make sure you're not throwing those body kicks in the pocket, otherwise you're just going to get clipped by one punch. And now he's starting to get it. Probably also deep to the head here, May.
Oh, beautiful
nice
elbow there. Doing the
nice.
little two-touch spin kicks. Oh, trying to load up on the head kick, just whiffs. Could have potentially had a finish there if that landed.
Oh, another body kicker, flying the attempt there. 3 minutes left on the clock. A head kick gets wide as well. Casey trying to fight back with all his might. Shoots a takedown, gets it, Perp.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, what kind of grappling is Diakasi going to have for that good ground control that Pettis has as he stands up. He obviously wants to finish this as quick as he can right here. Get it off the mat.
Oh,
nice
stuff
right there.
Beautifully set up with the fake head kick.
Did you see the feint? He feinted before that and then threw the head kick. Oh, man, that was absolutely beautiful. Brady with a beautiful knockout right there, man, with Pettis. I love to see that. That is an absolutely beautiful fight.
That was a fantastic job there. He flaked the leg kick, got into the head kick, and he worked it beautifully. The body kicks to begin with, the head kick to finish it off, Matty. That is a way to start off tonight's card.
What a way to start off the card. What a performance. What a knockout. And it's only going to get better as we go on. That was the first fight of the night. That was late replacement shown right now. We're going to get on to the next fight of the night, which is going to be absolutely banging. AJ's Walker taking on TFA Juggy. Doc, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, you have AJS and TFA. TFA, the split off of AJS, so both of these were probably former teammates in a few months ago. Now they're great competitors in two very well diverse camps. A grappler striking masterclass can be seen in both of these camps. You've got Pug, part of TFA, Walker being one of the major parts of AJS's. So without further ado, let's get straight into this fight. We're in the featherweight division as well, Purple. So what kind of fighters are you expecting to see here by the seems of it?
I'm not. Is this Xbox? Are these two Xbox? Yeah. I'm not real familiar with either one of these fighters. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I see the Oliveira and the Pettis is actually, I think, a good counter pick for a jiu-jitsu guy. He has that good. He's good off his back if he has to get there, and he can now kickbox him standing on the feet. So this will be interesting.
On a similar note about the jiu-jitsu, Pettis also has that fantastic jiu-jitsu. He's got the rubber guard as well, which makes him a competitive pick on the ground. The bottom game is something you've got to be wary of, and so it feels like it may be the case of if Oliveira lands a takedown, how well will that bottom game be used within the fight here, May?
I mean, obviously, like we can look back at the history of these two fighters. Pettis tapped out Oliveira in their fight back in 2015, I do believe. So you never know what's going to happen. You've seen the slight lead in sparring record there for AJ's Walker. See if that's going to play into the head of Juggernaut a little bit, maybe.
Well, so far, Pettis is playing an aggressive game. His stamina slightly a bit lower already. Oliveira coming back. Very interesting type of combos. Standing his ground, he probably wants to use that length just a tiny bit more. Just for the way Oliveira is, he's got very sketchy boxing, I find. And so if you can look for the big counters early on, it may be the case. 1-2 head kick, fired out, body kick in retaliation. Another head kick there as well, Purple.
Yeah, nice, combos by both guys coming out. Pettis has got to be careful missing those spinning body kicks. One hook, if landed right, and after you miss one of those, it could be lights out. As he goes for the nice takedown defense here by Walker. That's why he did not want it to go to the mat, and he kept it standing. So that's nice. Oh, but he gets rocked again.
Full elbow there from Juggernaut. Oh, but he overextends.
That's a nice kill kick, though. You are gassed out. Both of these opponents need to make sure that they're not gassing out, land their counters correctly as well. We've seen a couple times, couple big counters, but look there, he missed a massive counter window. A lead hook very cleanly would have got, maybe we got the KO, but instead you were just a bit too late. Does come out with the jabs over here, Matty, and he's playing an aggressive game, hoping to get the finish early, whilst also missing a couple of the counters. He's got to be wary, making sure that stam doesn't go low as well.
I mean, you've seen earlier in the earlier portions of this fight, Juggernaut was doing well at intercepting the forward pressure of Anthony Pettis as he drops him.
Wow, and that's a reversal for you all of a sudden, and so this is a fight and a half, an armbar attempt here as well.
This is not where you want to be. That was a good drop, but a massive sweep right there to get in the top mount, and we know Oliveira's arm bars are absolutely wicked, so this is going to be a tough one to get out of.
It's looking like he might get out of this. So, yeah, he abandoned it. That's probably a smart move from Juggernaut at this point. Oliveira's got that rubber guard from the bottom, so he could probably use that in either getting up or trying to sweep. And he looks for a triangle choke.
The triangle choke was a fair attempt, does look for the rubber guard, and now we are getting the reversal. Nearly got the reversal. Instead, though, goes to top mount. That's a lovely job.
He's keeping him in rubber guard right here, but he gets back out to full guard now. Nice
from Juggernaut.
Yeah, nice reversal to get back on top. So Pettis' strong point on the ground though is on his back. So, and as I say that, he gets another reversal right there to switch. I
think we've seen around 4 of them same reversals in the last minute.
Yeah, round and round we go. I mean, here we go,
Look at the
man.
grapple advantage there though, at the end of the round for Walker.
Yeah, and as this round ends, I am the next fight size, so I am going to get off and get ready for my fight, and I will return after that.
Oh yeah, best of luck, my mate. Anyway, moving on. Doc, would you say that round probably went to AJ's Walker?
I mean, Walker was the one who got the knockdown, the spinning heel kick. Getting the knockdown early on is the way to win the round. Both of them are going at it already. Oliveira's making good progress on the feet, I've got to admit. A lovely little job there. Does go for his three-piece. Looks for it. Gets the elbow, though, mate.
Oh, beautiful counter, though, from Juggernaut. Working the body there. Oh, but he overcommits. And now he's stunned.
He is stunned. He's doing a fantastic job. Gets to straight. Digs down
neither of these fighters know how to miss, do they? Everything that they're throwing, they're landing on each other.
Yeah, it just seems to be the case that some of their counter windows are a bit poor, but he ducks into the uppercut, now putting on his pressure, nearly gets the finish. Uh-oh, another elbow there again.
Oh, another elbow.
Ducks under the head kick, bodies kick this time.
I think he needs to realise that the head kicks aren't working. It's getting him punished as he's dropped again here. Smart move there.
We're back on the feet. Pettis has the higher bit of stamina, but as you see,
he's rocked again with that elbow.
Both of them are throwing non-stop strikes, hoping for anything, not landing anything of particular notice. It seems like, but everything's also landing. A jab straight gets the knockdown.
Beautiful bit of pressure there from AJ's Walker. Just gets the knockdown. I think he's a bit scared to jump down to the ground with him after the ensuing grappling situations. And Jesus Christ, what is happening?
I'm not particularly sure what's happening. We seem to have an interesting camera angle. We are now resetting.
I think we're back.
Hey, we're back. Lovely. The cameraman evidently fell off his chair, it seemed like.
Yeah,
ducks under it, and he gets the KO. That's a way to do it.
Every single time Juggernaut rocked Walker, he would go for a head kick, and he got it ducked, and then the opposite thing happened to end the fight. Walker overcommitting on a rock. It's poetic. Poetic finish there from
ducked
Juggernaut.
Every head kick it threw, but it was the head kick Walker threw that got him knocked out. Lovely.
That was a brilliant
fantastic
fight.
Job. Fantastic fight across both balls, mate. That was a hectic fight, to say the least.
I don't think either of them can really be ashamed coming out of that fight. AJ's Walker was putting on some brilliant pressure on Juggernaut, but at the end he just kept walking into those elbows, kept overcommitting a little bit when he got rocked, and it ended up with him losing the fight, sadly, for him. I don't know why I'm saying sadly. Anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night. I think there has been a correction here. I'm not quite sure. Doc, what's the fight now? Pardon me.
Well, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're just having some slight technical issues, it seems like, as well as some slight weight cutting issues. I believe we're aiming for AJS Yamov versus Night Legacy is looking to be the fight so far.
Yeah, of course, that'll be a brilliant fight once it's happening, but just a few issues getting into the booth, into the lobby, and then we'll be ready to go.
Just a few issues. It's always a fun time. But if you look at the rest of the card, though, if those are the first two fights, man, you've got to look at. You've had Roy Jones versus Brody, Walker versus Juggy. You've got some nice fights later on. You've got Swishbitty versus Mikey Boy. You've got Salvador fighting. You've got Hook Creek fighting. You've got Assassino versus Mohamed Makayev also fighting. So across the board, there's going to be a very fun time. Very, very peculiar time, to say the least.
Even just looking up later on the prelims, LW Lepo, veteran of primetime, top 10 mainstay last season, fighting AJ's Optimus Jojo, a man who likes to talk his way into some opportunities. Sometimes he uses his mouth to get his opportunities at times, and it's worked well for him. He's ended up with a veteran like Lepo, and he's going to look to capitalize on that. Mikey Boy versus Swishbitty. Not too familiar with Swishbitty, but Mikey Boy, he's a mainstay. He's always been around in primetime. He's been around since the very beginning, the dark days of primetime, and he's looking to come back. He hasn't had the greatest of luck recently, but he's going to look to bounce back against Swishbitty. Any other fights later on in the prelims that you're looking forward to in particular, Doc?
Prelims are always stacked. Sadly, the pay-per-view the main card isn't big enough. In terms of other fights, hopefully we get to see Lepo versus Optimus Jojo. Lepo is kind of mental winning style, you've got to admit, Matty. He just has an incredible, unique skill set which somehow works between the two.
Lepo, you never want to miss whatever Lepo does ever, because you'll see him picking Nick Diaz against a Robert Whittaker, dropping them, not proceeding to go for the finish and just pointing at him. Like, he's mental the way he fights.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest
crazy
fights that stands up for me in terms of Lepo's capability is the first time he fought EK Issues. I think it may have been end of last season, coming to that end, maybe even one of the GPs we had, where he was getting knocked down and bullied on the feet pretty much. The pressure was overwhelming him and overwhelming him. He then shoots a takedown and gets the sub in the second round after basically nearly getting finished about four different times. That is the type of player you fight when you fight someone like Lepo. However, enough talk about Lepo. That's the fight after this. First off, we are in the flyweight division. AJS Mob versus Night Legacy.
You know, Night Legacy, he's always been around. He's been known as a reputation of picking some lesser used fighters, to say the least, in weight classes. Like last season, I remember against somebody went Yancy Medeiros, I do believe, for some reason. But you know, Night Legacy, he's always one who puts on a show. You never want to miss a Night Legacy fight because he always brings the fire every single time. Brilliant boxing from him. Beautiful feint kick setups, I know, personally, from sparring him. And he looks to be choosing a calf this time, which is interesting, Doc.
Well, Night Legacy and a calf, that makes sense in my books. He has a genuine ability of making some fun fights, looking at it in any type of nature he can. Yeah, I'm not particularly certain, but if he's part of the AGS camp, I'm hoping we'll see maybe another car fire. I'm not sure. Got the car pick as a kickboxer sniper versus a balanced virtuoso, May. Evidently, you've been a bit more of a car effect, but I'm expecting you to tell me something about them, which I don't know, to be honest.
Well, balanced virtuoso, it has a lot of very good spinning kicks. It's got the good wrestling. It's pretty much got everything that you would want out of a calf. And pardon me, Doc, who did Night Legacy pick as the archetype?
Sniper? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
got
Sniper.
It's got the McGregor Celtic cross, which everybody loves to use.
That explains all when it comes to Night Legacy. Night Legacy kind of wants to be like a knockoff McGregor, it seems, especially in terms of taunting. Having a bit of dance moves before they want to punch up, and we are off to the races as flyweights. God, they are short, Matt.
Look at the size difference straight away for Mobya. Just Night Legacy is tiny. He's pushing forward instantly, eating a spinning elbow, 3 hooks afterwards. Jesus Christ, they're just going at it straight away.
Well, that's a body stun already. That's a body stun.
And there's a body drop already.
Night Legacy just putting on this pressure. He's walked forward. He's done a lot of damage. Couple of slips, couple of boxing moves. It seems like Night Legacy's aiming for a boxing approach, and so far he's hitting drops them there all again. The counters.
I mean, you've seen 2 knockdowns within 2 minutes. Just constant pressure from Night Legacy. Now you see what Night Legacy's about from this fight straight away.
Yeah, well, he tries for the death kick, doesn't land it. Now we end up with a few more boxing combinations being thrown back between each other. So these two are just trading right now.
I mean, Mobya is landing some big shots, but it's just not pushing him back, and he's getting rocked. He's getting dropped multiple times so far. The head health is fairly even, weirdly, still, even though there's been a stun and a knockdown for Night Legacy.
I mean, to be fair, all things considered, the body was the place where it got attacked first, so that's probably why the body's looking a bit more in sketchiness. Then it lovely little Pidget Lunds go for a crane kick to the body. Night Legacy looks to be on fire tonight, pitter-patting shots across the board. Will his cardio hold up? It seems to be so far, but that doesn't mean that he will be able to keep it up all night.
You're just seeing a load of beautiful, clean boxing combinations from Night Legacy. He's putting on a show. He's putting on a showcase of all of his skills right now. Jabs to the body there. He's landed the stem combination a few times, jab, rear hook, lead hook to the body. It's not something that you see every day because most people don't have the combination, but he's landing it a few times now. It's very effective, lowering the head health of Mobia right there.
Well, to make note of the singular thing I keep seeing by Night Legacy is also that jab. You mentioned the combos, but what about the jab itself? Every shot he's firing, it's that jab first, followed behind other shots. If he doesn't have the lead hand set up, he doesn't do it.
Oh, he drops it with the heel kick.
Exactly what you were talking about there. The heel kicks, the spin kicks, any type of kicks like them are going to be the style you want him to do. A little slip under, tries to do a bit of body damage himself. The stream deciding it wants to slow the pace down instead, but we're straight back at it, and we've seemed to crash all of a sudden.
And we are down. There we go. We're back up. We're back up to a knockdown. There you go. Just look at the stamina difference. That's bodywork for you.
And that is how you do a fight. Fantastic job there by Night Legacy all the way through. That was just a very aggressive time, very fantastic. He just put on that pace there, mate.
He just went pedal to the metal from the very beginning and said, I want your liver. Your liver is gone. And just completely snatched it away from him. And then the stamina difference is what really did it for there. Mobia was trading in the pocket. He just couldn't answer any of that pressure.
He really couldn't. Now, with that being said, we're going to go to a slight intermission break. We should be back within the next minute to 2 minutes, and we'll be straight back with things with Lepo versus... This is where my brain remembers. LW Lepo versus AJS Jojo in the welterweight class. We'll be straight back after this short intermission. Apologies.
Hope you're there.
And we are back. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying. Few technical issues, a few different issues popping about. We should now be back. We're just waiting on our next fighter this evening. I believe Lepo versus Optimus Jojo sadly has been scrapped for something else, so hopefully we get to see that. I believe we're waiting on Swish Bitty versus Mikey Boy now, both of them making sure to finish off their bowls of tiramisu before we get into that fight. Hopefully, May.
I hope this fight goes ahead because I'm really looking forward to that. Swish Bitty, I think who was it who we fought last week again, Doc? Was it Jimmy Bucks? Am I not mistaken?
Not mistake. I'm not particularly sure off the top of my head. I would have to look, and sadly I can't right now, so always the case. Purple, how about you? Any particular fighters? Maybe the Swish Bitty Mikey. I know they're on the Xbox side last, sadly, so maybe you can give us some insight into the PS side.
Yeah, sadly enough, I don't think I've ever heard of either one of these two names, to be honest with you, man. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic fight, but can you name the fighters off one more time for me? It's Mighty Bucks and who?
Swish Bitty and Mikey Boy, which I'm
Swish
sure
Bitty and Mighty
will
Boy.
be which will be going live any second now. Mikey Boy, obviously, he's known for having really good submissions, and from someone who's played Mikey Boy, he can submit you from anywhere, no matter how big your stamina is. It's rather unbelievable, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah, Mikey subs are an incredible thing. They just have an inability of just getting you at the weirdest of times. You've got to make sure that you keep all your P's and Q's in checked. Otherwise, you're going to have a massive issue in terms of those types, because these subs are dangerous, they're deadly. We've seen the sub game itself. We know then the subs aren't the best in the world. But Mikey has learned to kind of adapt that entire style to put on that pressure to make it difficult.
I mean, sometimes he'll literally shoot a double leg, bail on it, and then pull guard on you, just so he gets you to the ground and he has a chance to submit. Yeah, I've seen that happen. But recently he's been using his striking a little bit more, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has also been using his striking. It's a fantastic time to see him learn to adapt, learn to adjust to different styles. Hopefully these two have finally stopped eating the tiramisu. Christ the Lord, we're finally getting going. Enough tiramisu for all. It seems like they could be feeding an army, Perp.
Yeah, man, taking a minute, but I'm thinking this one is going to be very interesting. You're talking about the submissions. He's obviously going to want to keep it standing if he wants to avoid that. So I'm interested to see the picks here in middleweight for someone that is a submission artist. Maybe a Damian Maia pick, that would be dangerous.
Damian, as you're seeing right here, he's going Jared Canyon here. Swish Bitty just Kevin Holland. These are interesting picks on the Doctor.
Well, Canonier can punch your head off. Holland can kick your head off from sitting on his bum. Evidently, Holland's got the power. Evidently, Canonier has the power. Who's going to be the best person to use the power will be the question here, Matty.
I think when you're a Canyoneer, you always want to be utilizing your power, looking for their slip shots and working their legs, which is something that goes unnoticed against some people. When you're using Canyoneer, he's got very good leg kicks. Kevin Holland, obviously the longer fighter, going to be using that jab, constantly keeping the range. Touch of gloves here to start. Hitting that tape straight away. Feeling out process from the get-go.
Yeah, one thing about Kevin Holland, too, obviously we don't want to see it too much, but those elbows and those spinning elbows of Kevin Holland are absolutely vicious. So you got to watch out for that when it comes to him when you're coming in on the pocket.
Well, a sidekick gets missed, a strike comes in to capture, and then lead hook gets
beautiful
stun
Mikey.
Already getting that lead hook.
He's just breaking that block going forward. He's doing the right thing right now. Mikey's looking flawless so far.
That is...
Drops him with that same combination, gets caught with the up kick trying to jump on the finish.
Yeah, man, it's just like you said, Matty. He's working with that power, those counter shots, and I've seen him throw a couple leg kicks already to make him, think about going down low, and it seems to be working for him. It's a good game plan right now. He's It's an absolutely beautiful performance so far with Cannon. There's another big rock right there.
I mean, he's never thrown more than 2 punch combinations at a time, and it's working perfectly for him because he's switched, but he's expecting another shot to come, and he's doing a little slip, trying to get it to change, but he shoots a takedown, gets the back drag there, ended up in back sitting. This could be where you see a change in the momentum of the fight, Doc.
Well, the change of momentum is the idea. Swishbitty was the one getting knocked down a few times, so if Swishbitty can make it go slow, stay patient, but instead Mikey gets the reversal, him now on top. Can he get out of half guard? Will he go for the get up is the question. Does get denied there, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, we see a rubber guard attempt now, Pup.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that Holland has rubber guard. That makes this interesting on the ground right here. And, you know, if Cannonier's wanting to get up, you know, maybe you know, instead of just going for that up as he gets up, you know, throw a couple feints in there, and, you know. But beautiful work to get up there, as he obviously didn't want to be on the ground.
See Swishbitty just trying to keep that range right now. Look at it, finally times to pull back on that uppercut hook combination, which was catching him earlier on in the fight. You think maybe he's starting to come into this fight a little bit more now, Doc?
Well, you would hope for it. The chin stat of Holland's definitely took its beating early on, but now it seems to have fully recovered. Poking and prodding, looking for any key shots, does duck under that lead hook, which clipped him earlier to get the knockdown. The head kick, though, gets him instead.
Ooh, beautiful head kick there.
Yeah.
I mean, what's surprising to me is the health stats.
Oh.
The health stats aren't that different, but he drops them there.
Well, the health stats
nice.
look low.
Top
Holland
crucial.
now on top, and both of them are going back and forth very slowly, very sustly, but although that is definitely Mikey's round, he's got several knockdowns. The chin, though, of Holland at the very end, it looked very close to basically perfect, even as he got clipped 6-7 times that round.
Yeah, that was confusing to me, but that round definitely went to Mikey. Potentially a 10-8 in the scenario that it happened in. Touch your gloves to start the second rounds, even stamina pretty much.
That was a rough round, and, you know, coming out looking at the health stats, Swishbitty is gonna have to play from behind here and make up some ground. I think he needs to start utilizing that kickboxing of Holland to maybe switch it up and keep Cannonier away from him as much as possible with those powerful punches.
Couple of leg kicks being fired off, hoping to do some bit of damage, but instead the jab straights for both opponents here are playing the major game. Do see a body kick there, doesn't get it to land particularly well. Uppercut does try to do it. Lovely slip uppercut, doesn't do too much damage, Matty. Both of them staying fairly patient, looking back and forwards. It's a lot different pace to what we started out with last round.
Yeah, it seems like Swishbitty is trying to make Mikey whiff and miss some shots so he can kind of work and take advantage of the lower stamina that he has right now, but doesn't seem to be having too much success right now. Mikey's still landing some big shots. Yet to get a rock this round, if I'm not mistaken, but seems to be that Mikey right now is just focusing on chopping that leg.
Jabs, chopping the leg, just picking apart your opponent. Purple is probably the best mode. You know you won the first round, so let's slow the pace down, keep it patient, let your opponent open up to then get the aggression off afterwards. Maybe the game plan here.
Yeah, big rock right there.
Uppercut hook combination once again, rocks him.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's definitely one big lesson I've learned a few times is when you get up like this, be patient. You know, when he's working that leg perfect, hitting them uppercuts, getting those big counter shots like we see right there, absolutely beautiful. And working that leg, he's getting that, now. Yeah.
Well, takedown, get shot. He does get it. Mikey's got a couple of attempts here. I think he does have a guillotine. If he can get it to full guard, if he wanted to show him his fantastic submissions, but Swishbitty got the deny. Now looking for a side control. We've got to be wary with the long, pointy elbows of Holland here as well, Pup.
Yeah, man, if he gets a side control, or I don't know if Holland has a crucifix or not. If he starts raining down those elbows.
Well, we talked about Mikey's subs.
Yeah.
How's Izzy's defense? So did seem fairly good there, Matty. But you always got that threat, especially if you don't manage to manage your stam throughout the fight, especially on the ground.
I mean, Mikey's having a few problems managing his stamina on the ground right now. Like, he is kind of gassing himself out, looking for transitions, not really punching much off the bottom.
Cannonier opened up right there on the bottom from the elbow from Holland as he's dropping him right there on Cannonier, and as he gets into half guard wisely right there. At the end of the round, Holland's going to have to get a finish, I think. I think it's just too much damage.
Yeah, I think it is at this point. I think that the first 2 rounds almost surely went Mikey, so I think Swishbitty's going to have to look for the finish here.
Yeah, I'm not going to call it panic wrestling, but... he's going to have to do something significant on the ground if he's going to take it there. And another big uppercut.
Not a very good start of the round, which he needs a finish in.
Well, he's got a lot of stamina. That is the one good thing so far. He's got a lot of stamina, which means if he wants to do a lot of kicking, a lot of boxing, a lot of moving, he can do that work. But the chin, the leg...
uppercut.
The uppercut just seems to
find a way. You do with the uppercut. Digs
the
up
pool finally gets there, and he gets him down on the cage. Oh, couldn't this be a big comeback? Maybe that's what he was looking for this whole fight, waiting for that pool to land. And then now he's taking, nice takedown defense right there.
Nice takedown defense, shooting takedowns for his life right now.
He's shooting takedowns. He wants something, but Mikey's not giving him anything. What he's giving him, though, is a stam deficit. Uppercut, a deny, though. Couple
now Mikey
knees.
shoots a takedown.
I don't think Cannonier can miss an uppercut. I mean, literally every time he throws an uppercut. Oh, nice slip straight. I mean, he's just on point right here. I mean, oh man, this is this is a mauling.
Seems like it's a pullback counting nightmare for both opponents. We want the uppercuts. One good pullback can cause issues. You gotta be wary though, going into their body or get your body shot countered. You're going to be met by an uppercut as well. And so Swish is trying to find any opportunity. Mikey's staying close on defense. He knows his stamina's low. Gets the takedown there, Matty, and 2 minutes left on the clock. Both opponents still in the game, although Mikey seems to be 2 rounds up.
2 minutes in a dream you're seeing right now. 2 minutes in a dream. He's got 2 minutes to make something work right now. Looking for the leg lock, just trying it, maybe. Nope, can't get it. Let's it go straight away.
Probably just not the guy to try it on, as we talked about. He's a great submission artist. His defense is probably just as good. So I personally don't think by watching that he is worried about the submissions on the ground. So he's going to have to do something significant here, or Cannonier's win this fight. A ground and pound. Yeah, getting that head health flashing right there. That's what he's got to do if he's going to want to win this from on the mat.
I mean, he's got a minute for a finish. Yeah, he could have won this round because of that knockdown, but I don't think that you're going to see... Mikey looking for his signature guillotine right here, though.
Guillotine attempt here. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. Does seem to be rising quite hard in terms of the escape bar. So even if we did have a lot more on the clock, we would see it. As I say that, though, it creeps up massively, doing fantastically here. Doesn't get the counter. This is a close one.
Yeah,
this could be it.
Could be a finish in the final 10 seconds. I think
it's tracking is beautiful. Well, oh my god.
Beautiful.
That is a
beautiful
way to end the fight.
End the fight.
I can't even say that was bad submission defense. The tracking was just so on point right there. I mean, he was on that bar like glue, man, and he had no stamina, and he took advantage right there at the end of the fight, and did what he does best, as y'all were saying. He's a submission artist, and he pulled it off with the submission with Cannonier. Beautiful.
He asked for it. He shot the takedowns.
He was shooting.
Yes, he did.
We mentioned all that hype about the actual submissions, and look, what did he come do? Come get a submission. Fantastic job there by Mikey. And now we're on to our next fight of this evening. What fight will it be? I believe
EMF 209. I
believe we're going back to our fight of Optimus Jojo with a late replacement of Bucko.
Oh, okay.
Bucko stepping in on short notice. Very interesting.
Big time. We give a shout out there for Bucko for stepping up. We appreciate that. I know JoJo probably appreciates that, not having to miss his fight.
Yeah, sadly, Lepo couldn't make his way to the octagon. Bucko stepping in on short notice, 3-0 record there, which is very interesting. Looking for the Li Jingliang pick. JoJo
really
looking to go his
forward.
calf.
Yeah, this is a few calves we've seen, more than usual. This card, I was really looking forward to, seeing my Camp Lepo fight, but, things happen. I'll find out what happened with him, but this should be an interesting fight, man. Bucko used to be a part of the Lethal Weapon camp, if I'm not mistaken, and he is very good. And, you look at this record right here, 3-0, so you got to wonder just how much confidence is he coming in with this calf.
I mean, Bucko's always one he's very confident. He likes to use his unorthodox movement, create some opportunities for himself. Fake glove touch there, not really. No, they're taunting, they're getting into it.
Well, taunts are the Bucko style. He's a bit of a troll in the community, only right for that to translate into his actual fighting ability. The block, though, already broken. He's putting on this pressure. He knows what he wants to do. He's looking to get those jabs, those straights established, look past the shots. JoJo, though, is also trying to fire back. You see those straights just slightly clipping through that block, but would it be enough to beat the onslaught of Bucko, it seems like?
Another taunt there.
Yeah, it looks like Bucko's also... Yeah, it looks like Bucko's using that range right there of I'm not gonna say Jingliang. I'm not even gonna try to say his name, but using that
the leech.
Liang. Yeah, using that reach right there to extend those jab straights out, working that block, really sticking that jab out there, working it.
Yeah, well, working that jab very effectively. Does get the deny, but again, low stamina just caused him to get the drop down into this position. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock to work. That's a lot of time to work with the grappling department. Will Bucko be able to get back up to his seat? Is the following question here, Matty.
I mean, Bucko knows what he's doing when it comes to the ground game. He knows what he's doing towards most things in this game, but right now he is getting outworked on the ground. Just slow pace grappling right now.
Yeah, Jingliang, if he can get a denial or wow.
Top man is quick, effective. Right, Bucko's block is low. He's got to be wary that any shots landed there are going to be a massive issue for him. JoJo was not having the greatest success on the feet, but his hand seems to have a lot more success on the ground. Is Bucko playing possum, or is he waiting for the right moment? Evidently, he got his back taken here, 1:20 on the clock. This is a long time to work. He's had a lot of time to work already, though, and he hasn't really got much damage off, it seems like. A reversal there, though, Matty.
Oh, nice roll there. Get out. Now he gets top control.
Yeah, this could be where the tide for the ground battle changes right here. Oh, but a good get up right there by Optimus.
Well, a head kick does get blocked.
After the straight punches, Bucko just landing precisely each times.
And Bucko, sitting back right there, begging him, come forward, come at me. He's probably looking for a big counter shot. So being really patient.
Well, another body kick lands, a straight lands there, straight again. This seems to be the battle of the straights, it seems like. And with that, we call an end to round one, a little taunt at the end, just to finish off the taunting show as we go into the second round here.
Gives him a little bird, flips him the bird before going back to the corner. Showing him what he thinks about him. But, nice round with both guys right there. Looks like, Li Jingliang may have won that round off the strikes. But this fight is not over by any means, so it's interesting. I want to see how this one ends up, man, because I think JoJo has the ability. Let's see. Nice takedown defense by Li.
Well, there's one way of doing stuff, very aggressive on the clinch work, jab straight, body kick follows suit. Just seems like both opponents are now starting to get a read of each other, and JoJo's kind of adapting. Bucko needs to start doing something to really do it. Like, that isn't going to do it if he wants to. Not quite sure what we're watching here. Lovely bit of head movement showcase there, but
A little bit
I
of dirty
don't.
dancing, you know, going Araliba.
Yeah, quite possibly, quite possibly. Although they are now back to fighting, it's lovely to see a couple of jabs being fired off against each other.
Good counter shots by both guys coming off right here. You know, both are firing off. Neither one are backing down. I like to see it.
Jojo doing a good job closing the distance right now, using that slip hook, using his jab. Now just a lot of head movement.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say a lot of head movement, a lot of. It's like Bucko's making no real commitment to do anything until he got that knockdown, and now he starts putting that pressure.
Now he gets the
up
knockdown.
kick of
Looking at
doom,
Jumonto,
though.
gets the up kick.
He's been looking for that all fight, you know, that jab straight rear head kick, and he finally landed it right there. And big stun it was as there. I don't think anyone's been stunned yet, so that could possibly, you know, put him in the lead in the judge's eyes right here. And I don't know why he's sitting back on the cage like that. This is a weird
I
fight.
think Bucko's just trying to make a statement right now, say this kid is not on my level. I don't need to be taking this kid seriously.
But I offer the condolence of, if you want to show a kid not being on your level, knock him out in the first round. It gets you the more points, the quicker the better. We can then go on to the next fight. You've made your statement, you're done and dusted. By sitting around here and just doing the head movement, it brings more into the question of your legitimacy to be a fighter. Because
and he gets caught with the slip up there, dropped, looking for the finish. Can he get it? No,
Bucko.
not quite. Gets up by the cage.
Like, you've just been knocked down by a guy you're evidently trying to make a statement on. You see there the straight's really putting on. It seems like the head health is fairly concise. So, a couple of uppercuts maybe by JoJo. Every time he ducks down, it's just going to be a fantastic job here. Just double up with the uppercuts may be the case. Slip, just something, because it seems like Bucko doesn't want to commit to anything, and he doesn't want to put the pressure on here.
I mean, now he's pushing forward a little bit.
Yeah, but he's getting clipped with an even better part.
Oh,
But the head kick followed by the straight, now looking to get the finish.
And this could be it right on top
I don't
now.
think he's going to get it. No, he just
saved by the bell. Yeah,
probably
man.
around a buckle there, despite a lot of the dancing going on.
That was a weird round. That was a very weird round to watch, man.
That was a polite way to say a weird round, a weird one indeed. Hopefully we get to see both of these opponents start putting on the pressure. Let's not have so much downtime in between shots or combinations. This is a primetime guarantee fight. Let's make sure we live up to that standard. Already running to the centre of the cage, evidently hearing us, it seems like.
Yeah, maybe so. He's listening, and he's like, all right, Doc, I'm going to get there. He sprints across the cage to Lee, but Lee, you know, not taking a step past that black line. So he's I think he's going to let JoJo come to him. So, but I think he needs, you know, to pressure a little more and get that rock right there to get, you know, try to get this lead back if he is trying to put on a show right here.
Well, the jabs get established. He's working his safe around the block and then doing it afterwards. Lovely four-piece does land against the block, couple of sneaky shots. But again, every time Bucko seems to want to enter into the pocket to really put on the pressure, JoJo's out the pocket very quickly here, man.
I mean, he's trying to close in. He's trying to put on the pressure, but it's not really working as you get dropped there looking for the finish. Can Bucko get it? Yep, and that's the end of the fight.
So.
And he, maybe?
No.
No, he held himself back.
There we are.
No. See you later.
Turns out he didn't. Well, that is sometimes interesting and peculiar, to say the least. Well, with that fight out of the way,
Odd fight.
I believe we have another late replacement. It seems to be the night of late replacement, night of people getting ill. Someone's evidently put food poisoning in the tiramisu. All the fighters have been eating it, and a lot of them seem to have got sick. So I believe we have Crypto versus Jakey.
Crypto versus Jakey. Oh, This is interesting. This will be very
That
interesting.
would be a good matchup right there. I don't know a whole lot of the Xbox people, but those are two people that I do know of is Jakey and Crypto, man. Two big names.
Well,
And
apologies,
might see another.
Well,
Sorry.
just on a quick side note, apparently I was being a bit too ambitious there. Those two apparently are still finishing off their tiramisu, it seems like, instead. So, instead, we get Broomstick versus Megatony on the PS side.
Oh, just a small change in order. Broomstick fighting again. Broomstick, everyone knows who Broomstick is. He's a mainstay. He's a mainstay of the community. Everyone knows who he is. He's a brilliant fighter. Waits for his opportunities, to say the least, I'd say. But going up against Megatony here. Purple, you're from the PS side, but is there anything you can tell us about Megatony?
Megatony, I have actually fought him here in primetime, I think twice, and UFL probably 3 times or 4 or something. Like me and Megatony have fought quite a few times. I think I might be up by 1 win. He's very good. He has some slick striking, some slick counter striking, and he will take it to the mat, and he has good submissions. So that's something to watch out for right here. You know, that's with the Virtuoso calf. You know, a bunch of casts being picked, man. I kind of like it a little bit. You know, a little different than what we see from every card. But Broomstick picking Rumble Johnson right here. It's going to be a tough matchup for a calf.
Rumble Johnson, you've obviously got that power, the ability to change the fight with any given moment, especially at light heavyweight, Doc. How would you say this fight playing out?
Well, you have 2 options. Knockout, KO, or a decision. My bet with Rumble Johnson being in the cage, I'm expecting the KO. A spinning death kick gets slide as well. We're definitely looking at a KO. If we don't, we are looking at one hell of a fight. Jab straights are already being thrown. Lead hooks are also being clipped, and that jab straight has got the head health of Brooms already down to the halfway point. It's only still recovering. Now putting on this pressure as well does Broomstick here, Perp, and both of them are already at it, playing like complete madmen. No feeling in that process.
None at all, man. They're going straight at it. Yeah, very, very good takedown defense right there. As I said, you know, Tony is he's well versed on the ground, but you know, Kaz is not known for having the best health stats, so you know he's got to watch out for this power of Rumble Johnson, man, especially with Broomstick behind the controller right there.
I mean, both of them are doing a good job. It's a fairly even fight so far, but I think they're falling into the trap of going 1 for 1. Like, you go, I go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go. They're falling into a rhythm, and the way that works is just going to be whoever gets the stun, but he gets the takedown there.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to see if he was going to get it to the ground and if he's going to be able to keep it here. Because if he can, you know, that's big to keep Rumble on his back and not getting hit by that big. I think it's like 97 power. Nice reversal over there in the side control. There.
Now, Megatony's back inside control, but Broomstick takes the back.
Well, with the power of Johnson on your back, you know his muscle in nature. You mentioned his power earlier, approximately a 97, 98 power stat. You get clipped by that once, it hurts on the feet. Imagine that on the ground and pound, top mountain especially. We see him going to half guard. Maybe look for a top mount, ground and pound position. It will be completely deadly, but here we are in half guard and expect some bombs to be ranged. You already see it already, that block getting low, the head health as well included. Lovely bit of damage, a good bit of defense. Now we're into top man, it seems like.
Yeah, this is not where Megatony wants to be with those big cinder block hands coming down on you from top mount. All it would take is one good denial and a good ground and pound series, and this one could be over. But it is reversed by Megatony. Nice.
It's a very competitive grappling exchange, this.
As an eye on both occasions. Now we see a bit of ground and pound by the car player here. Broomstick hoping to get into the reversal WGA. Now we get back up with 30 seconds left on the clock here. And both of them are trading in the pocket. Maybe Broomstick's hoping to get one little bit of damage, especially with that dangerous power. And he does so.
Oh, gets a beautiful stun there.
Yeah, knee to the body. You know, Virtuoso has that razor wire perk. I'm pretty sure where the knees do more damage, and I think he got close to a body rock right there, did some good damage. But I think Rumble, his advantage in his fight right here is going to be keeping it on the feet and keep hitting those good counter shots that he had going right there. Nice slip straight coming out. Oh, big uppercut
there. Got
yeah. And the head kick just misses.
He pulls on the death kick.
And he gets the ankle pick. I'm not too sure about. I'm not a big. I've never used Johnson that much, so I'm not too familiar with his ground stats. But Virtuoso pretty decent ground stats, so I think that's where I want to keep it, especially after getting rocked again. He's got
he fucking turned into a fidget spinner.
Well,
Jesus
a fidget spinner
Christ.
is apparently what Broomstick's going to be known as when he goes Johnson. It seems like. Evidently through a body kick, ill-timed, ill-willed, and thus got punished. The calf taking it off, and you can just see that hook that sent his body wild. Sadly, we can't see the recording, but that is a fantastic job there.
That's what happens when you overcommit, when you rock somebody. If you overcommit, you get turned into a helicopter. It's just what happens.
Yeah, man. He threw everything he had, drained his whole gas tank, got hit with one shot, and got turned into a pretzel. I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous. Beautiful, beautiful shot by Megatoni coming out of that rock and getting that, and realizing that stamina was low and hitting that big counter shot right there. Big win by Megatoni.
And now we're back onto our normal order of scheduling. We have Jakey versus Crypto in the women's division. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just getting double checked in the back. Nope. Apologies for the 50th time in a row. We are on Dicelo versus BMF. A couple of changes, and they're always a fun old time, Matty.
Yeah, I mean, some people have to fall out. It's not by any fault of their own. Just things come up, and they just have to deal with them. It's the way that it is. But we're going to move on to. Not going to let that ruin the show, are we? We're going to get on. We're going to enjoy some fucking brilliant fights coming up, as you said. BMF 209 taking on Dicelo. Perp, you're on the PS side. Do you know either of these players and what they fight like?
I don't know if this is the same Aaron, an Aaron that was in lightweight recently. If so, he is very good on the feet. I don't know BMF 209, but if it's the right weight class, hoping to see a Diaz pick, that would be awesome. But I can't say a whole lot about these two because I can't recall even. I don't think I've seen them fight, to be honest.
Here we go in the lobby, ready to go. Looking for a Paul Felder versus Michael Chandler. Interesting matchup.
The Dragon versus Chandler. This would be an interesting match. Yeah, and Felder's
Chandler was 4 stars. I didn't realize he was 4 stars in lightweight, but apparently he is. Felder's a fun old pick. He's a kickboxing nightmare, very good on the feet. Chandler's got the power on the feet a bit. He's like a worse Gaethje, some could argue. They did have a fight RL, and they definitely looked like each other, especially when they tried to box. Now we get to see it in the octagon tonight. Will the Irish succeed, or will the knockoff Iron Mike Tyson be the victor, mate?
I mean, I'm guessing from the Paul Felder, what you'll be seeing is more of that Muay Thai style, leg kicks, body kicks, whereas the Chandler's going to be trying to close the distance, use the body kick. But as I say, that Chandler is the one who starts off with the leg kick.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chandler's got that 98 punch power. So, you got to be careful with those counter shots and even standing with Chandler in the pocket. But Felder would be, wise to keep him at a distance and kickbox Chandler right here. I think he definitely has the advantage on the feet. Maybe Chandler will set something to get it going on the ground.
Chandler's doing a really good job of using that straight after Felder whiffs. odd timing him coming in. He knows how to utilize a straight punch awfully well. It's such a simple thing, but once you understand the fundamentals and how to utilize it to your advantage, it's really good, isn't it, Doctor?
It really is just making sure you keep to all your fundamentals. In fact, it's just a case of making sure you stick to all your fundamentals, make sure all your P's and Q's are kept in check, because if you don't know how to use a jab, you're going to be fucked. If you don't know how to use a straight, you're going to be a bit in trouble. If you don't know how to kick, you're going to be a bit in trouble, but you get the general idea. If one of your areas is a weakness, it's going to make your life difficulty as soon as someone starts exploiting it here, Purple.
Yeah, and if I'm Felder right here, I'm noticing Chandler's coming in with a straight just about every time. I would definitely try to, time a slip hook or something, because he saw that straight was working, and he is overcommitting to it a little bit, I believe. But it is working right now, though.
I mean, you see a slight head health advantage for Dyslow at the moment. But Felder's catching up. I think he's adjusted a little bit. He's no longer overcommitting on his shots as much. Forces Chandler to shoot for the takedown there in a half guard. Straight away postured up, looking for the ground and pound.
Yeah, Chandler's strong suit right here.
Big
It's the ground
shots.
and pound as he gets reversed, but not before doing some damage with that 98. Those big, powerful hands coming down from top mount.
Well, this
Ooh,
is a
took the
legal
neck
choke.
right
He
here.
doesn't decide to ditch it very early on. Instead, goes for the back flat. You can go for a back flat rear naked choke. Instead, goes to the ground and pound. This is already looking deadly. But again, block got low. He got back up. The stamina's low. Now he's in top mount. 40 seconds left on the clock, and there's still a lot of damage he can do here.
Oh, and he can finish it right here. Nice ground and pound defense right there by Chandler. Got to get out of top mount right here, and the back mount is not the way to go. So,
Look for the armbar, but it'll be too late in the round at this point.
Yeah, no stamina. So,
even though those ground and pound shots weren't getting through to the head a lot of the time, you've got to be thinking of the health that it takes away from the block going into the second round.
it does massive damage to that block, especially coming from top mount. So, the stand-up right here is going to be interesting. Chandler could easily break the block of Felder. I think Chandler's going to want to get it back to the ground, though, and work that ground and pound.
Working the ground and pound may be the suggestible idea, but we're seeing a lot of the striking here, the leg kicks, the body kicks. Maybe we see Chandler throw a few more leg kicks, work the legs of Felder, topple the base to then work the tower. Maybe the way to go. Although a head kick thrown, Purple? Oh, it's not Purple. Oh, you are in the comms booth, mate. BMF is staying fairly patient. He was blocking a few shots, just waiting for Dyslow to really start committing to any real shots, it seemed like. May.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of taking his time at the minute. He realised that he was overcommitting in the first round, which was getting him caught by that straight. And I think he's doing a good job of adjusting himself, just slowly picking away, using them kicks, and just scoring away. But the health stats are massively in favour of Chandler at the minute.
Yeah, man, one big, slip or counter shot can end it right here with those big power punches of Chandler. Felder does not want him to be able to get into the pocket and get into a pocket, but he gets the rock.
And
and drops
from
him.
BMF looking for the finish. Kenny decides to go to the body with them knees instead of following up with the head.
Nice little mix-up right there, though, in the clinch. Being patient with the clinch right there and hit it to the body and hit it to the head a couple times. Didn't get a rock or anything, but did some damage. So,
Wasting that
missed
leg
leg
kick.
kick right there. Yeah, let's see if Felder might, notice that and capitalize on a big counter shot on a missed leg kick after that. Because Felder's leg is tore up as he checks that one.
I mean, if I'm Chandler
Both.
right now, I'm going back to the box and using the fundamentals as I was doing in the first round and scoring the points to the head health with that. Doc, what would you be doing right now if you were either of these fighters?
Make it dirty, it seems like both of them are trying to keep it somewhat technical, but just make it dirty, make it gritty. There you go, straight. Put on this pressure. You've got the option of
straight down the pocket.
Yeah, you've got an option of a clinch. You've got a couple of spinning elbows as your Pell Felder as well. He's working the leg kick lovely, but now start using those kicks to go up top. Your opponent's expecting the leg kicks. He's expecting the body kicks. So just head kick him in the face and hope that works to some extent. A couple of jabs followed by a straight, and you can stick the head kick. But again, the chin of Iron Mike Chandler here is just non-stop. He's cooking with every shot he can. Felder's looking to land any types of shots, but he's not having as much success here, mate. As I say that though, he gets dropped.
Beautiful drop.
And doesn't want to jump on him. That might come back to haunt him as Chandler takes him to the mat. And the Felder does not want any ground and pound right here from Felder. I don't think, man, because this is going to. It's already in the red.
Head, it seems like on the ground and pound. Just wants to eat a few shots there. Now you go. There you go. Now he's blocking. Just throwing the hooks right now. Just kind of, just making sure he's defending himself. But Chandler is non-stop at the end of the round there. Definitely a Felder round though.
Well, here we have a look at the stats. 2 knockdowns in the favour of Felder that round. We also saw the other, the first round stats, 20 to 12 significant fights in the favour of Felder. Felder's definitely 2 rounds up. Now it's going to be the question of, can he get the finish this round, or is Iron Mike Chandler going to get the finish? We've seen Mikey Boy come back with the sub even after getting 2 knockdowns, so maybe Felder gets a sub. Who knows is the question of tonight's card.
I mean, you see them, both of them legs are flashing at this point of the fight from the Chandler, of the leg kicks of Felder and the checks.
Oh, another big rock and drop right there by Felder.
He's just dominating this fight at this point.
Hit a good 2 body shots right there, getting them thinking about going low. But a submission attempt right here.
Go with full stamina. I don't know if that's the most advisable move, but he's trying it because why not?
I mean, at this point, why not? I mean, you've got to go for something if you're Chandler right here, because Felder's kind of running off with this. He is running away with this match. So if I'm Chandler right here, I want to get in top mount and I want to rain down some blows. If I want to get that knockout, or just keep it simple boxing and calm down with the leg kicks.
Well, we're back. We're on the feet. The leg kicks are non-stop. Felder's evidently interested in getting a knockdown by them. A straight clips him, uppercut, and Hook drops him as well. Now he's gone stayed up top. Another knockdown. He's trying to wear that body. He's got to beware of the counter. There's multiple issues. The power of Chandler is a massive issue. The leg kicks have taken most of it out of it. The knockdowns, the chin health is sketchy here, Matty. There's not much he can seem to do to really get any come back.
Yeah, at this point, it's just a matter of time, it seems like. Well. Maybe, as I say that, it's over. Dead. He's dead. He's not alive.
If you want to see a dead man...
I think he heard you, man, when you said they need to get dirty, because he got absolutely dirty right there at the end of that round and just went ballistic, and there was nothing that Chandler could do to stop those strikes, man. That was a clinic. That was absolutely
someone's keep
beautiful.
timing you coming in, you just stay inside. I think that was what the game plan was coming into the second and third rounds of that fight for BMF, but a beautiful performance and a beautiful knockout win.
Yeah, that was very beautiful. That was a good performance by Felder right there, not getting taken advantage of on the ground too much by Chandler. Surviving that ground and pound and getting all those rocks, standing on the feet. That was absolutely a beautiful striking showcase.
Yeah, both of them did a fantastic job, and with we're following on from that fight, we are now on to Crypto versus Jakey finally. In the women's bantamweight division, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully these two have eaten all their material Masu, nobody's been food poisoned, and we should be good to go.
They don't want to be eating the tiramisu. That's going to make them miss, and we're going to end up with another cancellation.
Yeah. Oh, Megan Anderson versus Rockwell Pennington. This should be very interesting. Anderson, he's got that big, long reach. And I don't know much about Raquel Pennington, to be honest with you. So, maybe one of you guys can give me some insight on her and what she does.
Yeah, it's about dirty boxing, really. That's mainly what it's about.
Okay.
Crypto, obviously, going to try
Alrighty.
and stay on the outside, pick Jakey apart, make him gas himself out. Jakey, he's one of them who just loves to brawl. He loves brawling. He loves just taking someone's head off constantly. Yes, he might gas himself out in the process, but you're too fucked by the end of the fucking combinations that he throws in order to stop.
Well, Megan Anderson, Kryptonite King, already shooting the takedown as he does casually. That's
interesting.
Oh, he gets denied full guard attempt here. I'm not particularly sure who Kryptonite has gone. He gets up very quickly. Rochelle.
Yeah, no problem on the ground right there, getting up. Actually made it look easy. Sorry, I got my
I think it's
tongue tied
quite
there.
possible with the battle of respect there that he wasn't intending on shooting the takedown. It's more just Crypto's fat fingers just
that's
doing
what I
it.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, Megan
know,
Anderson's
and,
long reach is definitely something to be worried about, especially when you seem to be so small, like Rochelle Pennington here. And Perp, what's your suggestion when it comes to like Crypto? He's having a bit of difficulty just trying to get on this inside.
Man, do your best to stay in on the inside and get some big counter shots on Anderson right there, because you don't want to be back right at her perfect range, where she can work that reach. And, if I'm Anderson, I'm using some teeps. I'm keeping the range to where to keep him right there at the extension of my jab straight. When he comes in, hit him with those hooks. But a big rock by Crypto right there. He's staying in the pocket, boxing with Megan Anderson, not backing down.
Crypto, he's having a few problems getting caught in the weigh-in, but he's doing a beautiful job kind of closing that distance at times, working that body with the rear body kick, which I think is going unnoticed by Jakey at this point, because it doesn't seem to be giving him many problems, but it will add up. It's going to add up over time.
Well, yeah, the rear body kick digging down to that body, the stam's going to slowly get lower, but the head kick of Jakey B is also slowly starting to make its presence more and more known, it seems like.
I was just waiting for my opening to say something about that. Looks like both legs have taken, a little bit of health damage right there. And I see him a lot of feints going to the legs from Anderson. So, and a big leg kick right there. Obviously a part of the game plan for Jakey right here, and smart, is you want to keep some hands low for Anderson's good boxing. It's a big rock. Though. Yeah. Don't know how she got her head up there. Anderson's a tall man, and she's a big fighter.
Crypto's doing a good job of just kind of picking his moments, but when it comes to the general pace of the fight, you're seeing a head health advantage just forming there for Jakey as he's constantly landing these shots.
And it seems to be a lot too, not by a massive amount, but he's dropped right there. His head health seems to be probably already halfway drained. So
a quick rundown of that round, though, just to make note of both what you two said. The head health's going slightly down by Crypto, but you notice the stamina difference seems to be quite good. It's a fairly less notable now, but at the end of the last round, it was quite big, I would say. So if Crypto can work back to it, keep himself alive, get a bit more body work done, maybe he can come back and get a finish, is the hope here.
Yeah, and also you want to look at the block of Pennington right here, not in the best of situations either. It's suffered a bit as well. So you got to wonder if Jakey you got to wonder if Crypto is even going to make it out of this round if he doesn't start getting some big rock
Jakey.
right there. Yeah, man, it's like you said, man, at the beginning, these combos, it's like he might gas himself out, but where are you at the end of that, man? Do you are you already dead or what? Because Jakey is putting on a clinic right here. So it's 3-piece after 3-piece after 3-piece just coming in, and it's a good boxing clinic and a big stun right there again. by Anderson. His head health can't take
He's
much
just
more.
teeing off at this point.
Yeah, there's not much that Pennington can do with this head health right here, and that block being lower than I've seen a block, I think, ever.
Well, both of them are looking to pick their shots. The jab, the general head health of Pennington is so low, even the lead hook drops it, and Crypto's got to come back with some type of shot here, otherwise he's going to be dead in the water. He's looking for one big shot, I would say, otherwise he is out for the count, to the point where even a jab is dropping him, and the rear hook finishes
the end of the fight.
the job.
And a walk-off walk-off shot right there by Jakey, just putting an exclamation point on that fight right there. Beautiful. I mean, that was an absolute mauling. You know, much respect to both fighters. You know, Jakey and Crypto, got much respect for both of those guys. But Jake just put on a clinic, so that was absolutely beautiful.
And so now we enter into the last two fights of the prelims. AJS Hukri is up next, followed by G-Man Salvador to finish off the prelims, if I'm not mistaken. And then we are on to the main card of this evening. Both of these...
Assassin versus Hukri. That's going to be a very interesting fight. AJ's Assassin, I've sparred him a few times. I know that. Fighting out the AJ's can be... He uses a lot of head movement. He does. Likes to pick his moments, uses a lot of straight punches down the middle. He's a good fighter, but Hukri, I know he's friends with Aaron, the best for a while now. So you're going to be seeing a lot of exchanges here, which will be interesting. Looking for a Beneil Dariush pick, which is interesting.
Yeah, maybe wanting to take it to the ground, you know, and if you're Connor, definitely not wanting to get taken to the ground by Darius, as you will be at the massive disadvantage of the great jiu-jitsu of Darius that he has, man. And we also can't, you know, forget Darius' stand-up is pretty solid as well, as I recall.
Yeah, he's got good power. I know that. Good. He's got some alright boxing as well. Doc, I've seen you use Beneil Dariush a few times. Anything that you can say about this pick?
Well, he's a southpaw. It seems to be my signature pick when it comes to fighters I pick. I'm an orthodox fighter who plays southpaw fighters. It's really strange, but enough about me. I'm about the fighter themselves. Dariush, leg locks in full guard, final bit of submission game, level 2 jab, which makes it one of the best jabs in the game, in my opinion. Very pokey, very steady. However, against McGregor, you want to be shooting the takedowns early on, you want to be keeping them on the ground. But Beneil Dariush is a wrestler / BJJ artist, and you want to use him like such. McGregor is a striker, a very good one at that. If you can't take him down to the ground early on, you're going to have issues. But it seems like AJS is looking to have a striking battle. Lovely job there, already getting the takedown done.
Nice takedown there. After he had that duck straight, you know. He thought, you know what, I'm going to use the pick to my advantage. Let's grind this out. Looking for
And why not,
he gets it.
you know, already, you know, taking big advantage of the ground advantage Dariush has. And, you know, you got to think, you know, Connor's in trouble with someone like Dariush on top of him. Not the best bottom control. Correct me if I'm wrong, but not the best bottom control.
No, it's not. I know for a fact. I think it's in the 80s, I do believe.
I would be a bit
Dariush is
concerned if it was in
right
the
now.
90s.
Reversal.
I would be a bit concerned if McGregor had a bottom control which was above 90 even. However, you see now Beneil Dariush is in bottom, holding the full guard, looks at reversal, doesn't get it, lovely deny. Does get the posture up, and we're back up onto the feet. If you can get the jab established, stay patient. Like with your McGregor, you're getting pressured with the takedowns. What you're doing is putting the pressure on yourself. You don't want to be going in and out the pocket. Put on the pressure yourself. Use that power to your advantage.
Beautiful posture.
As you see,
1-2, looking for the finish.
every
The power of McGregor right here.
every shot raining down in
them
the
shots
book.
just not wanting to go through the block. I don't know why. They just didn't.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't
Big-
change your shot
big
selection,
knockdown, though.
sometimes the block just stays tempered. You need to throw hooks and straights to break that block in those types of positions. Otherwise, it just doesn't break, and it gives your opponent a chance to counter. However, with a minute 40 left on the clock, with another 2 rounds to go, we've had Beneil Dariush be very aggressive on the ground. We've had McGregor get the 2 knockdowns.
Beautiful.
And
Again, drop them. Same punch
there
again, looking
we
for the finish.
go.
And that is it. What a fucking performance from Hugh Curie right there.
Well, Hurricane
Yeah.
started off fairly sketchy, but came back, put the power of McGregor on. As soon as he started pressuring, risking the takedown attempt, stopping them at the same time, he found every shot could land, and he got the finish. Fantastic job there.
Yeah, and that definitive combo he kept throwing right there, that jab straight lead hook, that was, it tore him apart and eventually, put him out. And that's all you need with Conor is a few good stuns and you're done. So beautiful fight right there by the McGregor.
The slip straight was the key weapon in getting the finish there. Dropped him twice.
Yes.
With the follow-up from Wellens. Just straight with the slip straight to get the finish. He knew how to time them count as well. Moving on to the next fight. G-Man versus Salvador 26. Purple, I know you're very familiar with G-Man, so any thought?
Yeah.
Looking into this?
G-Man, fought with him in a calf league for a while now, and very, very good, well-rounded. He was a ground artist when I started, when I first, started fighting him, and he's progressed more now to wanting to strike. So it'll be interesting to see what he goes with, but very, very dangerous on the ground. And I've also fought Salvador as well. He's good on the feet. He's got good combos. But I'm interested to see how this one's going to go because, G-Man's a very, very tough competitor.
Looking to be that Salvador 26 is the one who is being doubted right now. Let's see if he can get the upset win. Final fight, the prelims. This is looking to get onto the main card after this. Some absolute bangers going on the main card. Stack night of fights coming up. And we're only just starting. Well, the show's only just starting, guys. Show's only just starting.
Yeah.
Yep, this is
Definitely
the
can.
featured fight of the prelims, looking to make the fight of this evening. I do hope, should be going straight into it now, but hopefully this should be the end to the tiramisu scandal of tonight, and we can finally get into the main card. After this, we got a stack card from top to bottom, with of course the main event being Keza versus Gamp. Hopefully these two ready up very quickly. Josh Emmett looks to pick Poirier in the red corner. Should make for a fun time here, May.
Yeah, of course. But that Josh Emmett pick, he's going to be looking to utilise that power, obviously. Going to be looking to pick him apart with the overhands and the jabs. But Dustin Poirier, you can never really doubt the Dustin Poirier pick, even at featherweight.
Never. You cannot doubt, Poirier's got that striking. He's got the rubber guard on the ground. He's got the jiu-jitsu game. Could very well be called a jiu-jitsu fighter, in my opinion. But, I think G-Man going Emmett right here, his intentions, I think, is going to be getting it to the ground and look for a submission. I think this is what G-Man's going for. What do you think, Matty?
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, well, the overhand
and he
knocked him
drops him
down.
straight away looking for the finish. Can he get it?
The
Imagine if he got
wrestler
this right, Paul.
overhand, evidently making his play to come already. He does attempt to go for the side control. Now we're in half guard. Poirier's got some good BJJ, but if he can't use it to his advantage with Emmett on top, you've got the ground pound, you've got every type of shot you wanted to here. We have so 4 minutes left on the clock to work. This is a long time to work, and he didn't actually shoot a takedown. All he had to do was throw an overhand, mate.
Aye, it was a brilliantly set up overhand using the uppercut, just maybe just trying to stop him from ducking out the way of it, instill a bit of fear. And now he's got him into the side control, following up from that. He's raining down some really effective ground and pound right now. Salvador just trying his best to get up to his feet. And they're up, but look at that head health already. 2 minutes in for Salvador.
Yeah, it's already suffering, man, and Emmett with that power. You got to watch with the slips of G-Man. He's very deadly with those slips, man. He can put your lights out with one shot with one of them, and he's going to look to and possibly look to take it back down to the map. Both guys firing off right here, though. And he goes for the takedown and a good takedown denial by Poirier right there.
Yeah, maybe he's starting to wake up a little bit, starting to come back into the fight. Maybe ducks and overhand there, counters with that hook. Lands it over out of his own.
Yeah. That was a beautiful little head movement right there. Would have been good to see him, counter off that. Would have been a big stun, possibly been a big slam by Emmett right there to get him down in his side control. This is not where you want to be with G-Man.
Now he looks for the mount, see what he can get from here. And they're up straight away. I think there might have been a lag spike in the game. That's how he was able to get up without getting that denied.
Yeah. I was very surprised he got that get up. G-Man not the one to give up that, that get up that easy. But, he's comfortable on the feet too, though.
Evidently, the stream wants to give us a bit of a stream delay. Interesting time now. We come back to the takedown attempt.
Now we're back to the ground.
Oh. Well, this is effective. We're all waiting and seeing what happens. Both of them putting a very good pace. And
thrilling action.
Thrilling action indeed. A guillotine attempt we hear. Oh, no.
And now we're just seeing the different phases of it.
Oh.
It's looking,
and I said
like an effective attempt.
It might be the lag, but I said, look for G-Man to go for the submission, and here he's going for it. Might be taking advantage of the lag. I don't know, but
it looks somewhat tight, and he gets it.
And that's the finish.
Lovely job by G-Man tapping Salvador with a guillotine in sprawl, even if the stream ended up being a bit peculiar, to say the least. Well done, and congratulations on that part.
Yeah, good submission right there by G-Man, taking advantage of the moment right there. I thought he was going to take it to the ground and look for that, and he did, and he capitalized on it. So, good execution there by G-Man. Maybe he might be moving up to the main card after this.
Well, mentioning with the name of the main card on, he was in the prelims. Only the top of the prelims featured fight would be the name I'm looking for, Brain. So, main card, we have got Assassino War versus Mohamed Mokaev, Dirty Dave versus Valentine, Spartan War versus Fetal Sleep, and LW Ernesto versus Cam Caliber, Kev L versus TMM Storm, KI Humble versus Big Balls Ned, with the main event to cap off this evening of being Keza versus Gamp. I don't think we should hang around any longer than we have to. Would you agree, Pup? Let's get straight into the first fight of the main card. I say this as we seem to have a tiramisu incident for the 50th time tonight, it seems.
Yeah, a little bit of issues tonight, but it's prime time. We're going to keep it going. Going to give you guys these amazing fights. One thing I do want to mention, I just, I don't know how I missed this name on here when we were talking about the main card earlier. TMM Storm, man. I think he was 30 in the rankings when the last season just ended, and big guy to worry about in the striking on the feet and submissions. One of the best choke submission artists I've fought. I think, to be honest, his tracking is absolutely ridiculous. His striking is ridiculous. He's an absolute warrior. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I do expect both of them are warriors. Got Assassinino, who's part of the War Camp. The War Camp's a notorious camp. They know what they're doing when it comes to how to grapple, comes out to fighting. So I'm expecting good things from them. Same with Mohamed Mokaev in the light heavyweight division, though. So it's going to be a fun old time, because you light heavyweight, you've got a lot of picks. You've got Jones, you've got Cormier, because you've got to remember we no longer have the 4-star ban in place, so anybody's available, but you do get your own fighter banned. They seem to be getting into the lobby now finally, which is always nice to see, always grateful for it. I really do hope these hope the food incidents do stop now. It would be a very nice time.
Lads, just cut down on the food.
Please, just cut down on the food. That's all we ask. Just be ready, be prepared. We don't want to be waiting for you to sweat all your... We get you're hungry, but please, sweat it off. Be prepared beforehand. Get ready for your fights. Meet with your opponents. Go, this is our weight. We are fighting this way. You don't need to put on weight. You don't need to cut weight. You just need to be at the weight. Please. Okay.
You know.
Now.
Don't be scranning. Get banging. That's what was the
Matty D's quote of this evening will be, don't be scranning, be banging.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh, aye, indeed. Hopefully we can get straight back into this fight. A round of applause for everybody dead so far. Oh.
DC pick, interesting right here. I know Muhammad, he's a good striker and he likes to wrestle too, so obviously going to have the advantage right there using DC, so should be interesting.
Yeah, well...
I think now that we're... Pardon me, Doc, go on.
You were going to say something? Probably a bit more important than what I was going to say. I was just going to mention the fighter picks.
I think now that we're onto the main card and we no longer have the 4-star rule in place, I think although the fights may be a little bit more slower paced, a bit more technical, I think we are going to see a lot more high-level gameplay as we're going forward. Isn't that right, Doc?
Well, you would hope so. High-level gameplay has always been debatable. You can see everybody under the main stage of the lights gets a bit scared, gets a bit worried. You never know. To quote Aaron, a double straight is a rookie move. Maybe we'll see Keza or Gamp draw a double straight. We've got Blazkowicz in the red glove being played by Assassino War Hamid Makayev. In the blue gloves playing DC. DC's got no body jam. Blazkowicz has body kicks for days. Purple, how do you see this fight going?
Man, DC, he's a master wrestler. He's got that dominant wrestling, but you can't count off his striking, man. Sneaky striking with some of the best body shots, I think in the game. So, you got Polish power right here, Jan Blachowicz coming at you. If he can keep it standing, he should have the advantage. And, being in that war camp, he's sparring with some top level people, so he's probably going to be on point.
Well, he gets a high double leg, high single leg. Power single leg is the phrase I was looking for there. Hank you brain. And now we enter Crucifix. Assassin Cormier's got to be careful. Assassino War seems to be deadly on the ground. Very patient, very slow, methodical, looking for any type of mistakes he can. You see him get denial there, and he's back to throwing his elbows here, mate.
Yeah, he's just... This is a good way to start the fight, just take a little bit of damage off of him on the floor, just hold him in place, and secure an easy first round, because that puts you in a position where your opponent is someone who has to come at you in order to win. And that's what he was doing well when DC was coming forward, just counter him. So this is a very smart move here.
Yeah, and showing his dominance on the ground right here, man. DC is taking massive amounts of damage right here from these elbows. He can't take this for much longer, especially getting put in crucifix and side control. He's got to get out of there, but every time he tries to get out of side control, he gets denied.
He's just being neutralized. He's been completely neutralized on the ground right now, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, man. And being a DC, that's rough, getting wrestled by, Jan, being a Daniel Cormier and receiving a Daniel Cormier treatment, pretty much.
Well, some would have to argue the question of what's the best way to stop a Daniel Cormier in you, and it seems to be Daniel Cormier him back.
How many times have you said Daniel Cormier there?
About 3. I could do it more. We could say Daniel Cormier a few more times. You never know. Daniel Cormier is a very good name to say. There's also DC if you wanted to not say Daniel Cormier. And now
DC is another way of saying Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier, is someone who just loves saying his own name, Daniel Cormier.
And so, 40 seconds left on the clock. Blazkowicz gets reversed by Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier now going into side control. Daniel Cormier could look for a top, but he doesn't, so holding half guard. 30 seconds left on the clock, and Daniel Cormier is still staying a fairly patient game, although the GA causes him to get reversed. Daniel Cormier now on bottom.
Yeah, and Jan, I think he showed his dominance on the ground right here in this round. So a little late armbar attempt right there, but you got to be worried coming into the second round. If you're DC, you got to worry about the striking and the groundwork now of Assassinino. Yeah. What do you think, Matty?
First round definitely went to Jan Blachowicz there, just based off of the damage that he received, based mainly in the crucifix and the side saddle positions. But
we see the head health.
We didn't see much of the striking on the first round, but beautiful combination lands there.
Daniel Cormier is a wrestler. Blachowicz has the body kicks. If you wanted to keep it one way, it would be the way to keep it on the ground, just so he wasn't at risk of getting out wrestled by DC. Now, though, we see a bit of the body kicks. We see the body kicks. The teep does get missed. The head movement somehow causes it to miss. Digged onto the body. Doesn't get any attempt to clinch, though. Goes for the trip. Doesn't get it. A minute already gone on the clock here, Perp. And seems like we're not going to get any more wrestling attempts, luckily.
Yeah, not right now. I think War, felt him out that first round, knew he had him on the ground. I think he wants to test his his striking, but slams him to the ground, and he's back into that dominant side control he has. Big denial right there, but he gets into half guard.
Well, big denies mean nothing if you can't capitalise on them, and that seems to be the case in this grappling exchange. He can get the denies, he can get the damage off. It's just a question of if he can combine both. Now moving out of the full guard, looking into half guard, maybe got the top man and side control to move. Those are the places where you do damage, like this position here, maybe gets slipped right back into half guard.
Yeah, he's just. This is like similarly what was happening in the first round. It's just the safest way possible that you can take to win the fight, which is clearly the smartest thing to do. But he gets reversed there. DC now with the half guard, with the side control there, looking for the crucifix, looking to rain down some elbows, make a shower
and
of
he
blood
gets
come
to
out of everywhere.
deny. A couple elbows now being fired off. A minute 50 left on the clock. It seems like Blachowicz is in some very deep trouble. It's another deny link as well, and that is a deadly position.
And he's out.
Dangerous spot. Yeah, he did some damage
going
there.
over his face right now.
Yeah, DC did the damage there, though. He got some critical elbows off those denials right there. Head health suffering on Assassinino's part. Takes the back right here. Going to try to get some ground and pound. DC trying to show his dominance back here on the ground after getting dominated a little bit after that first round. What do you think, Matty?
No, he's making a comeback in his own grappling at this point. I think he thought, if I'm going to end up getting sat on, then why not sit on him? But he eats some big shots in the clinch there.
Yeah, almost getting stunned, trying to do his own clinch work right there. By return by Polish Power, getting that big power hand. Doc, who's up in your opinion right here?
I was about to say Blachowicz is up in my opinion, but a front kick. It looks like it may have turned that decision. I'm going to go for the safe bet of 1-1 this last round by being the mainstay of who takes it. It's even going to be the case of Blachowicz takes it down to the ground, makes it dirty, makes it gritty. Cormier tries to instead, gets denied, gets reversed, couple knees, gets the knockdown.
Beautiful knees,
drops him.
And
he's going to regret shooting that takedown now.
Yeah, that possibly put him back up on the scorecard. The big rock right there.
Jesus Christ, he turned into a helicopter.
Yeah.
The head movement is sometimes the game. Maybe not becoming the helicopter is what you want to be doing, though, because that just risks your possibility of walking into a random shot. But we are now on the floor again.
Yeah, and he does have very good side control. I will give it to him, man. He's getting those denials, but like Doc, it's like you said, what are you going to do with those denials? And let's see right here, he gets another one, and he's dropping an elbow. That's one thing I like about this Assassinino Wars game is he's not going crazy on the elbows. He drops one, he waits for the denial, and then he drops another, and he's being really patient, like you said, Doc.
Yep. A couple of patient shots is what you need to do, especially in dangerous positions like crucifix. One good arm trap, arm sweep, and then you'll have issues. Lovely deny on the crucifix. It's 2 minutes 50 left on the clock, a long time to work with. He's already above on the scorecards. It's whether the case DC can come back. DC's on bottom and he needs to work his way up either to gain top position, do damage, like so. And he does. He evidently hear in the commentary team, but we seem to be playing a game of roly-poly, finally getting denied, and we are into top mount. Blazkowicz in the dominant position. However, though, a lovely slip using the BJJ, getting into half guard again, May. But again, roly-poly.
It's like they're on it's like the entire octagon's on a gradient and they're just like hugging, rolling down the hill. You know what I mean? Just constant roly-polies.
Yeah, round and round we go right here.
Oh,
you know,
and
over
another
and over.
roll going into the back take.
Oh, there you go. And now there's another reversal. Fucking hell.
And we're up on our feet. The back is still taken. It's got to be wary if you needs. Goes to the back, gets the deny. Does get out of it, luckily. A minute 20 left on the clock. Goes for a slip hook, gets kneed in the face. The hook catches him.
And eats a slip hook of his own, turns into a fucking... I don't even know what to fucking call that, but...
It was an interesting time to say the least. A lovely bit of head movement, trying to escape the shots. 50 seconds left on the clock. Blazkowicz dug down to that body, jab straight. A leg kick follows suit. Any type of shot can really do it, and that is what you call a dead body.
Lit him up like a Christmas tree to get the finish.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Get the body bag, earning his nickname Polish Power right there. That was a nasty lead body hook into the rear hook up to the head. And, man, that is what you call a dead body.
And so, up next after that fight, I believe we're in the heavyweight division. Dirty Dave versus KM Valentine.
And if Dave goes Cormier, man, you got to think this is going to be a tough one. I mean, Daniel Cormier in the hands of Dirty Dave can be unstoppable at times, I would think. What do you think, Matty? How do you see this one going?
It's going to be a case of whether Valentine gets tough takedowns, really. I do believe. If it stays on the feet, I would definitely say Valentine has the edge in terms of the technical strike, and he works your body well. He kind of fights with that outside foot style, just back foot. Looking to counter you constantly and work your head health down that way through the stuns. But Dirty Dave, he's someone who's just consistently working you, just grinding. And he won't stop for 15 minutes.
Mark Coleman, going with the Mark Coleman pick against Stefan Struve. This is one of the most interesting picks I've seen in a while. The most awkward fighter in the game, possibly Stefan Struve, but possibly in no better hand than KM Valentine is. Both of these are. I know Dirty Dave is Valentine. I'm pretty sure he's ESFL as well, right?
Yep, he is.
Both of them.
Yeah, so we know this is going to be an absolute war, and he gets the Dan Severn pick, legend on legend. Dan Severn has that power in the hands too, man.
Will we see some headbutts? Will we see some high-level takedowns? I'm not particularly sure. Or will we just see two old 50-year-old men going at each other, trying to give each other very severe concussions? That is the questions on the table. They will all be answered in the next 10 seconds as soon as we see a touch of gloves. All things hoping, Matty.
I mean, hopefully it's the latter option of them. I would very much like to see some brain damage unfold between us right now.
Well, we have no hard. We do know that Valentine is Dan Severn, Mark Coleman is Dirty Dave. Both of them staying patient, neither of them shooting a takedown as of right now, Purple. So it seems like it may be a bare brawling boxing match right now.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for that, but I gotta think, Dave is just setting up a takedown and waiting for his chance to keep it there on the ground. Because Dan Severn, he's a wrestler, but he's got hands. He can throw. He's got good shots. So I don't know much about Coleman actually. About his boxing. So interesting to see what Dave will do right here.
I mean, to all things taken into consideration, I don't think anybody knows much about either of these fighters apart from what they were back in the old day in terms of stats. I don't think anybody particularly was going to notice it. The little bit of movement there, lovely lead hook, does nearly lead into that lead hook. Lovely bit of just technique there. With 2 minutes gone on the clock, Matty, you've got to expect both of them to maybe increase the pace up in over the course of this round, maybe the next. Who's particularly sure at this rate? It's a very odd thing to be watching, especially with no HUD.
I mean, it's kind of they are fighting at a high pace. It's just the fact of
that's a way to
that's
do
a
it.
beautiful rock. But as I was saying, they are fighting at a high pace. It's just they're not. It doesn't seem that way because they're not really doing too much damage to each other outside of that stun from Dave there. Valentine making it an effort to work the body and legs. It seems Dirty Dave want to go a bit more for the head.
Yeah, Valentine mixing it up nice here, man. I think he's doing a very good job of making Dave wonder where's this next strike coming, and possibly gonna make Dave shoot soon. But I mean, Dave got that rock, so Valentine, is playing off the back foot right now. Might have to get that back, but he's looking very comfortable. Doc.
Well, ducks under the straight, digs down to the body, lands the lead hook as well, getting that jab established. That jab rear hook may be one of the key ideas Dave is looking for. Couple more elbows, couple jab, both of them staying fairly patient, both of them not looking for big shots per se, more just looking for general shots to then work around into big shots. They're looking for openings, they're trying to make openings, they're not just throwing shots hoping they land into an opening here, Matty.
I mean, it's just like a slower build-up of damage that you're trying to see a bit right now. I think Valentine's landing the more shots. Dave might be landing the more effective of the shots, but most of the time the shots are getting caught on the block. It seems nice show of respect there to end the first round. Look at the fight stats. I was right in saying there that Valentine has the slight higher output in the fight. Pardon me, I can't talk. Mark Coleman, Dirty Dave. Landing the more effective things. Obviously won that round, the stun. See what Valentine's able to do coming into the second round here.
Yeah, and these slower shots, or not slower shots, the slower pace and this picky shot selection might be just because of the mutual respect that these two have for each other. Also, knowing that one mistake could end it for either of them at any time. So, they got to be careful with either one of these two fighters, and both of them right now are, playing it safe. What do you think, Doc?
Oh, yeah, I would agree. Both of them playing it safe is probably the best measurement here. You're both using peculiar fighters, to put it nicely. Basically, they're old men still in the octagon punching each other in the face for no real reason. And so, I mean, you've got to play it safe. The head helping to be greatest. We see a head kick off of Sandevra, and you have Coleman firing one back. They're level 1 head kicks at the very best, maybe even level 0 if they did exist here, mate. And so you've got to imagine that any shots they do land, they're either going to hit like a truck or they're not going to do any damage, basically.
It's all or nothing, really. A shot's either going to do nothing or it's going to stun. It's never really a case of, like you see in the lower weight classes, where it's, I'll hit you with this, his head health's a bit lower. But, of course, we don't know that right now because we can't actually see the fucking stats, which is slightly irritating.
A little bit of respect. I kind of respect people that play with, no HUD. It is a challenge. It makes it a different kind of a game, but it would be nice to see those stats. As I think, Valentine's getting to the body of Coleman pretty well. As I say that, a good body shot returned by Coleman.
He landed a nice overhand just a few seconds ago, which clearly must have done a tiny bit of damage. Probably the most damaging shot of this fight.
Well, an overhand lands there, doesn't get through the block very slightly. The body kick there, lovely little three-piece combo. These two do have the ability to open up with some wild combos. Somehow a head kick
nice
lands.
Head kick from Valentine.
Straight there as well. Uppercut nearly gets through. Straight follows back in retaliation.
You see, he lands some big shots and then he just backs away. I don't understand why. He should probably press on and try and get this finish.
Oh, nice slip right there. It would have been nice to see any counter. That would have been a rock. And one thing, I would love to have seen the stamina right now, because I've got to think, as a Dan Severn and Mark Coleman, the stamina is not going to be the greatest of your health stats. So this is big. I think he just got stunned right there. I think Coleman hurt him right there with that hook. But I think he may have gotten that round back. Dirty Dave might have.
Yeah, I think he had a slight edge in the strikes that round. I think Dave probably is 2 rounds up at the minute. You never know, though, with the judges in UFC 4. Nice combination in return off the pull. He's been working that body straight quite well as well. I would like to see the body start of Valentine.
Those body straights really add up. And what do you think of the body work here, Doc? Man, I think it's adding up.
Wow. You wanted body work. You got body work. You got body work to the point where Dave got the knockdown. You could see there that it seems to be close back and forth. Dave, you mentioned the body work, and it seemed like.
Okay, bye.
I mean, you got the finish, you showed the stats, and then you left. It's fair dues on Valentine's part. With that, though, that is.
That's what happens when you get old and you have one too many pint of John Smiths. Your liver just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I cursed you there, Valentine. That was that was kind of ironic, talking about the body, and then he just lands vicious body shots. That was absolutely beautiful, beautifully set up by Dave. So big win by him, man. Not an easy guy versus Valentine. So and the interesting picks as well. That was an interesting fight, and that was a good knockout, fun to watch.
Moving on to the next fight of the night.
Indeed, mate. We do have the next fight of the night. Spartan War versus Feet or Sleep. I'm still not particularly sure on the name. I do love it purely for the fact he's got the word feet in it. It's a bit peculiar. Take that any way you wish. That just sounds so wrong that we're going to continue on. Feet or Sleep is fighting Spartan
Doctor Who
War.
loves feet.
I didn't say that. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a thing now.
Well, as long as nobody clips that, we should be fine and dandy. Oh, God. Well, not like I mentioned something about cats having cat lives earlier. So, bantamweight division. Yan, by the looks of it, Cruz in the other corner. Let's get this fight on the road before anybody decides to mention the clip about previously with me saying something about feet.
Obviously, another fighter on the main card fighting out of the war camp. They know what they're doing. They're a load of warriors over there, really are.
They produce killers, man. They make warriors, and Spartan War, we've seen him at the top here at Primetime many times, and I don't know if he's ever taken the championship or not. I don't think he has, but I know he has the capability of it. He is very dangerous.
I believe, if I remember correctly, Spartan War was the first title challenger against Deaglefly just after the GP ended. So if Feet or Sleep gets a win over Spartan War, that's a win over a former title contender. That puts him in good state for future fights down the line. Hopefully, we should be able to see these two showcase their abilities now. All fingers crossed, maybe. Come on, we're going to ready up. I do not know.
Hopefully he can decide who he wants.
Who does he want? We're going to get Cejudo, we're going to get Yana, we're going to get Cruz.
Go on, let's go. We want to see violence.
Hey, off we go. As May said, we want to see violence. We are here to see violence. This is the Primetime guarantee. The idea is violence. The idea is quick finishes, quick time, and as quick as possible. And now we are loading up into this lobby. Feet or Sleep in the red gloves, playing the Yan pick. Spartan War in the blue gloves, playing Rob Font.
You got to watch out for that the Yan and the that force of nature perk. Man, it is effective if he gets that damage off first. It's going to be tough for Spartan War to come try to come back from that health disadvantage, but gets him on the ground already with Font, and already an undeniable transition into half guard.
Posture gets denied there. Gonna maybe.
What do you think about this, Matty? Going to the ground.
I mean, it's a great way to just start the fight, get a little bit of control time, just keep it going, get ready, build yourself into the fight as the time goes on. Good way to calm your nerves as well. Just start the fight on the ground.
Mistake me if I'm wrong, but Jan with the better ground stats than Font, so
yeah,
interesting.
I mean, Jan also does have a Zabit trip as well. You got to remember that. So if you're looking to grapple with Jan, he is definitely a fully contender. The only issue is he doesn't really have subs. On the other hand, though, Font does have a plenty of Kimura's Glow. Those need landing hard, landing quickly. Does get out of it though. Does Spartan War dig into that body? A couple of shots there. He wanted payback with it earlier, and now these two are just going straight at it. It seems like.
Feet asleep. He's got some very nice boxing. I've realised so far.
Yeah, very good clean combinations right here. He knew when he could go to the body safely right there and rip away, and that was nice. Good boxing right here. He's staying up against the fence. I wouldn't advise that too much against Spartan War, because the Font, he has that good pressure. Good striking overall so far. What do you think, Doc?
Lovely slip hook there, though. Gets the drop. Lovely bit of defense. Font brings him back down into the full guard bottom. Bian on top. A minute 50 left on the clock. Does do a fake there. Maybe looking to get a reversal of some type. Don't know what's going on here. Oh, we get the reversal. Lovely job there by Font. Could look for the top mount if you want to. Always got the side control opening, but it seems like Fetal Sleep's building up their GA. Does get denied, sadly, and now we go into side saddle. This is a very good time for Font to start putting on the damage, start raining down the elbows if he can, especially with how little success he was seemingly having on the feet and how well Rian was doing with the boxing combinations there, Perp.
Yeah, and good to get back into half guard right here. Font was in a dominant position, back to side control. Font showing a little bit of dominance here on the ground. Jan smartly getting it back up to the feet right here. Little dirty clinch work right there.
They're going to shoot a takedowns. Jan now. Interesting. Most likely looks like it was by a mistake.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those, man. You might eat an uppercut or a knee or something by mistake, and it's lights out. It's game over. But we saw a rock in that round, didn't we?
We're seeing a knockdown we did from Fetal Sleep as he got that slip hook when he was closing in. Other than that, it seemed to be that Spartan War was probably winning the round, but that knockdown probably did edge it for Fetal Sleep.
So here we are. Touch of gloves in the second round. Fetal Sleep probably up one round with a knockdown. The takedown shot straight down. We into half guard, and this is a long time to work if he can maintain position and keep top game going. A very good amount of GA in the favour of Spartan War. He just needs to do something with it. Does get denied. Now when you think about getting the reversal, he does so here, mate.
Boom. Beautiful reversal. That GA build up was beautiful. The way he just built it up with the rubber punches from the bottom there. Now he's on top. Took him less than a minute to get that reversal. Very impressive work. Looking to rain some ground and pound it. Just stand up. Clearly he's quite comfortable.
Well, evidently he wants to use a jab and just get the block down the head movement of Fetal Sleep, trying to come out of here, trying to be used effectively, look for the big counter shots, but so far Spartan War staying patient, working his opponent down here, Perp, and maintaining a good pressure point, it seems like.
Yeah, Jan's body health suffering a little bit from those body kicks from Font. You got to watch those, but good boxing right here from Jan. Big knockdown by Spartan War. He gets the up kick. Luckily, that could have been the end. That was a big knockdown.
Well, that's an effective time to do. If you can get the knockdown there, you just need to number one, make sure that you don't run into other issues. Gets a takedown, but if he wants to come back this round, he's got to do a lot of damage. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. There's a long time to work. He just needs to round the ground and pounds. He does a good job there, though.
And damage is what he is doing.
Oh, he gets reversed in the end.
Slick reversal right there by Spartan War, man. That was absolutely slick. He wasn't expecting that, being the one throwing the ground and pound. And then now he's under in top mount. Did not expect himself to be here. Damage raining down. This is a big moment right here in the fight.
Gets out of the top mount. We've already seen the ground and pound doing it, so top mount is not a place you want to be. But if Rob Font can get there again, do it again, maybe he stands a good chance of finishing this fight, although he decides that half guard ground and pound is the better position. A minute left on the clock
he's
here.
Possibly going to want to go back into top mount, maybe looking for that. But back into full guard. Good transition there by Feed Your Sleep. Good denial. Good denial by Spartan War also as well. You got to think he's going to want to get back to that ground and pound, though, Matty.
I mean, the ground and pound work has been really good so far for Spartan War, but he decides to get up. Interesting choices made. He does have a significant lead in the health stats, which is good to see for him.
Yeah, beautiful question mark kick when he got up right there.
Well, that's a way to counter an uppercut, and that's a way to get back at your opponent for knocking you down in the first round. 3 knockdowns, gets the reversal into top man at the very end of that round. But evidently, Bell went out, nothing to do there. And so, with that all said and done, I'd say that's 1-1 apiece of both of these fighters, mate.
Most likely, yeah. I mean, that second round was very dominant for Spartan War. The head health advantage is completely there for Spartan War as well. Going to be interesting to see what Feet to Sleep's able to do coming back in as he starts brawling in the pocket. Both men take a lot of damage right there.
Yeah, Feet to Sleep with some nice combos there, but Spartan War just ahead in the head health department, and he got that blinking head health on Feet to Sleep on Jan's side, and that's just not where you want to be fighting someone like Spartan War. One shot, it could be done. Maybe going to go back to the ground here. What do you think, Doc?
Well, maybe the ground is the idea. You got to remember that this is the round to play for. Third and final round is the last round. It's always the big round. If you can't win this, you're going to have issues with winning on the judges' scorecards. Although, so far, Jan's playing the front foot, playing back. The head kick lands.
Oh, drops him with the 1-2 head kick.
Font's got to be wary of his head.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
There you go, knockdown in retaliation, works the body, uppercuts there, attempting to do it. Lead hook, ducks under, tries to go for a clinch step, doesn't get any luck there. Jab straight, trying to come out. He knows for a fact that if he can't get a knockdown, can't maintain the round's end, he's going to be in big trouble, especially since Spartan War has the head health advantage here. Both of them playing a very careful, slow game. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. A hook gets there again. Another hook. He knows that head movement. He's got to change it up, I feel like, here now, Matty.
Aye, he's got to change it up a little bit. He potentially losing this fight. He really needs to change something up right now in order to either get a finish or do enough just to secure this round. But it seems like Feet to Sleep's kind of taking control here.
Isn't that?
Taking control on the ground, but is it enough to undo what Spartan has done on the feet? What do you think, Doc?
Caught me mid-yawn there, but Rob Font has done a fantastic job so far. If he can get back on the feet, he's going to have a lot more aggressive time. However, if Jan can keep it down here, maybe he is the one in the victory. This is a very close round to score, and unless someone does something mad,
did you say that? Commentator's curse?
The next a minute or so, we may be looking at a very close decision call, possibly a split, I would say. Knees, elbows, anything, just look for a finish of any type. That's what your aim is. Posture up if you can, get the ground pound. You got the stamina to do it. You just need to win something in terms of the actual significant strikes here. 40 seconds left on the clock. This is I kind of feel like they're all just chasing, desperate for measures. Neither of them really sure who needs any type of finish, and that is what you want.
That might be the finish.
I was waiting.
Silence. Silenced
I was waiting
closeness.
for the first decision of the night, maybe, but it did not come. Knockouts left and right, and this one ended a knockout just as well. Beautiful ground and pound right there. Not letting it go into the judge's hands, smart move by them, as that would have been a questionable judge call, and Spartan War putting a exclamation point on that one.
I mean, moving on to the next fight here, we've got LW Ernesto taking on KM Caliber. KM Caliber, obviously a mainstay of the Xbox community. He's fought the who's who of the best on Xbox. Ernesto, I think he's a rather new name, who's arisen recently, if I'm right in saying that, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's recently come up into the Xbox division so far, has made a name for himself. Now in the top of the main card fighting, as you mentioned, a who's who, a fighter who's fought the who's who on Xbox. He's got a win over Trixie as well. So here we are in the bantamweight division. Both of them need to get going.
And you got to think about the stakes on the line. Having a win over Trixie, could this be a potential number one contenders, number two contenders, next up type of fight potentially?
I think that would be something for Doc to say. I don't really know, but I know Ernesto is in Lethal Weapons camp with myself. So I know he is a dangerous competitor. I haven't sparred with him. I think this is Xbox.
Well, we've got TJ Dillashaw, Rob Font. Both of these two are going to be an interesting matchup. Font's got the length, Dillashaw's got the footwork. Well, as to grappling, we all know how KM Caliber fights. He fakes a single leg and then tries to flying knee you in the face for no other reason than he can, Matty. And so, a minute already done on the clock, already see a body kick with the fancy little fake there. And Ernesto, though, is doing a good job in terms of the boxing pedigree here.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting that head health low to start off. That's always a really good start. If you can get that early lead on your opponent, it allows you to relax a little bit and just get back into your flow state for the rest of the fight. He's getting backed up though here, isn't he? It's a little bit worrying, but it's not really seeming like Caliber's doing much good work, is it, Perp?
Yeah, he's working.
Well, you say that.
Commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse about you saying that sometimes it's not about doing the work. All of a sudden, it's about letting your opponent realizing they're under pressure. It's because you saw him there. He didn't want to overextend. He was happy to maintain the position he was holding. He had him against the cage. He was working him down very slowly to let his opponent get really tense up. And then he came in, played the aggression. All of a sudden, as soon as the opponent relaxed his defense in any type of manner, sometimes that's a lot more effective than just putting your barrage of strikes is all in one pace, as you can see Ernesto doing here.
Beautifully rock there, perfectly timed body kick.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, beautiful slip body kick right there. Sorry, Doc. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, Caliber was just he's putting on 4 or 5 pieces and not losing a single bit of stamina after it, and his opponent is losing more stamina. It's incredible to see. Very slow pace, very aggressive in any type of mentions. Another body kick there, and a minute 30 left on the clock, and so far it seems to be Caliber's fight.
You can just see the fucking speed of some of the shit that Caliber's throwing. Like you can feel the vibrations in the controller just by him landing.
Yeah, the combos coming out slick and fast, man. He's definitely on point in this fight. Switching stances left and right, I'm noticing that a lot, and I'm liking that. He's making his opponent think, where is he coming from with these shots, and a lot of them seem to be landing.
Although Caliber's not shy to getting hit though here. He has been hit multiple times. Head health still fairly close, oddly.
Yeah, the head health is draining a little bit on Dillashaw's side, but you gotta look at the body health suffering just a little more also on the Font side too. So, Caliber not playing favorites when it comes to the head or body, taking up to both. Some good body kicks, obviously some good head kicks. It's going to be interesting to see how Ernesto comes back in this one.
See the fight stats here. Knockdown and a body stun for Caliber. He did some very good work in that round, but it's still everybody's fight to play for at the moment.
As we all know, I mean, as playing this game, it's not over until, I mean, it's over. I mean, any shot can end it at any time. But right now, Caliber's proving to be, you know, probably the better the striker of the two, using Dillashaw quite well, using that switch stance stat very well, making Ernesto work for everything. Doc.
He is making Ernesto work for everything. It's just Caliber's an incredible ability. He's the shorter fighter, but he seems to be playing this kind of distance game where he's always just outside that range. He knows when to back up, he knows when to play steady, and that's allowing him to do it so far, May.
Yeah, he's using the high footwork stat of TJ Dillashaw perfectly right now. He's just popping in, out, and he knows exactly when to pick his moments, but he is getting worked a little bit by the boxing of Ernesto here.
Yeah, and as you say, using that footwork, man.
Big
he's
rock
going
by
Ernesto.
Looking for the finish. Smattering of head health left, and that is it.
And it's done.
Ernesto closes the show. What a comeback victory.
Fantastic.
A right hand straight, a win for the Lethal Weapons camp. I love to see it. But a beautiful comeback there. Ernesto Caliber was obviously, he was poking in and out, you know, throwing shots, not getting hit, you know, making Ernesto really pay. And then Ernesto capitalized on that stun. Big win by Ernesto right there.
I mean, you're seeing at points, even when Caliber was doing his speedy combos in and out, you could see that Ernesto was getting some work done in there as well, and it added up eventually and allowed him to get that finish at the end. Brilliant comeback.
Very true. Very true. He stayed composed, and he didn't let any of those rocks, you know, deter him from his goal, which was getting that knockout, and he did. And this next matchup, I'm very much looking forward to, you know, TMM Storm, TMM a new camp coming up, taking the world by storm. Not to, you know, be weird about it, but Storm, a very high capable competitor. Can you tell me anything about the guy he's fighting, Maddie?
Not familiar to me, but if you look at the fighter picks here, seeing a Jorge Masvidal and versus a Gilbert Burns, which was an odd pick. Gilbert Burns, not known for the greatest chin in this game, not the greatest cardio either, if I'm not mistaken. So probably going to try and see that Masvidal stick on the outside, but Burns probably going to look to utilize the really good jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Yeah, Storm, he's got some really good head movement, really good boxing. We know, you know, Burns has that boxing he can use, but like I said earlier, Storm's a very good submission artist, and it's good to have someone you can strike with or go to the ground with, and that's definitely Gilbert Burns. So I think it's a good pick for Storm, a good person that suits him. So interesting to see how this one's going to go.
Well, Burns has the power. Masvidal also has the power. Masvidal has the cardio, though. He's the better striker. I think most people will be in ingredients. Burns is the better grappler. That's kind of the heads and rundown of both of these fighters here, Matty. And so, with that being said, let's get straight into this thing. Hopefully we see a touch of gloves. And we are off to a start with a leg kick, followed by a straight and a very aggressive Gilbert Burns. It feels like no start feeling out process here.
Yep, no feeling out process for the Gilbert Burns. The Masvidal, though, just picking his shots very nicely, very cleanly to start off, though. Straight away takedown, get stuff. That's a good sign for the Masvidal going forward if he's able to stuff the takedowns early on.
Yeah, that's a good confidence boost. You know, it really, you know, it makes Storm has to box with Masvidal. Storm definitely has the capabilities to do it, has those beautiful combos. Like you said, Dog, he's very aggressive. Interesting to see how he's going to counter here on Masvidal.
Well, it seems like Masvidal's gone for the clever decision of working that body. He knows that Burns' recovery isn't great, and so if he can work that body effectively, he's going to have a lot easier time to a couple of body knees, go to the head there, gets the uppercut on the head, doesn't do much damage though. Burns already back at him, though, that body uppercut though, digging it down. Lovely little couple of two pieces there. Masvidal's not overextending on his combos, he's landing them and then getting out of them or resetting in some ability, making sure to plant as well helps matters greatly here, but it seems a bit Matty.
I mean, the body work with the rear body uppercut and the straights, the body, it's beautiful, slick work right now. It's as crisp as a packet of walkers, man. It's just look at the way he's throwing them hands, and he's dominating this fight so far.
Yeah, beautiful. But I mean, I'm enjoying seeing the boxing from both of these guys, man. But the takedown defense on the Kev L, the Masvidal side is just absolutely beautiful. Working that body with the lead hook, the body straights. Doing very well right now. Beautiful combos right there by Masvidal. Doing work to Burns right here, Matty.
He's just piecing him up slowly but surely, but he's doing the damage, but he knows that there's no rush. He's got all the time in the world to keep this working, and look at the stamina difference already, just through them body shots that he's landing. Just tap to the bodies constantly.
Yeah, tap. That's what you got to do to the body to work that thing down. And, it's not exactly bad timing on the takedowns that Storm is going for. And the turning takedown is just beautiful. Takedown defense by Masvidal, man. Kev L right here. This is an absolute beautiful showcase right here. I know Storm is not an easy person to fight. So, big rock here by Masvidal showing his dominance in the boxing.
That is the
Dirk,
way.
what are you
body,
doing if
man.
you're Storm right now to try and come back into this fight?
I wait 10 seconds. Try not to get clipped.
Oh.
And then you reset because it's so evident that Masvidal has got control. This is the time where you lose your momentum. You have to rebuild it up coming into that second round. And so if I'm Storm, what you can do is you can come forward, play aggressive, use that Burns power, and then shoot a takedown and try get it on the ground. Your aim this round is to get it on the ground and see how good your opponent is. Because if you can't do that, you're in for a hell of a time with maybe a few overhands being thrown for sheer desperate measure. See the body kick, see the kicks coming out, but now you need to shoot a takedown. Even clinch him up would be the idea. You make him engage in that boxing. And then stick a clinching somehow. It's just going to be the case of you've got to find the takedown shot, because it seems like Burns isn't going to be able to strike with Masvidal here. Pup.
Yeah, it seems like Storm is having some trouble matching the boxing of Masvidal here. I don't think he was expecting his such good takedown defense. As another beautiful takedown denial right there by Kev L. The Masvidal, man. Burns really having a rough time of it go right here. Storm having to come back through adversity. I mean, this is the showcase right here by the Masvidal. Beautiful boxing, beautiful takedown defense. What do you think, Matty?
He's just slowly picking him apart. I mean, beautiful front kick there. I mean, Storm has had a little bit more success this round, but it's not adding up at all to the amount of damage that he's taken and continuing to take.
And, that has to contribute to the body damage that Masvidal's doing. Not as much power coming from Burns as not as much stamina. Stamina is everything when it comes. And, breaking through that block, too, is Masvidal. So, I mean, this is getting dangerous right here for Burns.
2 minutes left on the clock. We saw how the last 5 minutes, the last 5 minute round affected Burns. Burns was so much desperate for any type of shot. It's been difficult. Masvidal has the ability to go up, down, left, right, pepper him with shots in any way, and Burns doesn't really have an answer for it, sadly. And so it seems like he's on the defense. Uppercut does land, doesn't get anything off it, sadly. Couple of hooks, ducks under that hook though, and Burns needs something big. He needs something wild. He needs to go for desperate measure here, I feel like. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to win this. His stamina's low. He's got a minute left of this round, and he's got 5 minutes left of the next round. If they can't find any options, find any openings, they could be looking at a judge's decision to the finish, though.
Yeah, if I'm the
Oh,
Masvidal right now, I want to be throwing a few more 4-piece combinations or something like that because he's got this fight in the bag right now. It seems there's very little that the Burns with the stats that he has, the style disadvantage that he has, that he's going to be able to come back into this fight. Only if he gets it to the ground, which
oof.
the takedown
Oh.
defense is held up. Beautiful
Oh.
body rock there.
The body work adding up, and you know it gets tricky here when you gotta worry about it endangering being ended from the body or the head, which is where Masvidal is in this situation. He has the option. Does he want to work the body? Does he want to work the head? It's interesting to see what he's going to do this next round. If I'm him, I'm just taking it slow, and because those shots are adding up, man. Burns can't take much more.
Well, the body's blinking every time he goes down to that straight, and 15 seconds in already. Burns knows he's desperate, already putting this pressure, but again, a takedown attempt doesn't get it. He needs to clinch up. He needs to mix up his takedown attempts if he ever hopes. There we are. That's what we want to see. A clinch attempt doesn't get it, sadly, though. Masvidal still happy, content. He's playing Masvidal to an ultimate, keeping all his P's and Q's in check, playing steady. But as I say that, the takedown finally lands in favour of Burns. Can he get any type of damage, or can he get finished, can he get sub? These are all the questions that need to be answered within the next 4 minutes. Otherwise, we could just be looking at Masvidal cruising to a finish. As I say, like, he gets a get up very cleanly here, Matty.
That's
I think Storm did the right thing by and stop trying to turn each one of these takedowns and just go for it straight, because that's what Kevin was expecting throughout the most of the fight. Kevin rocks him there, and that is the fight done.
That is
Beautiful
the way
performance.
to finish the fight. He pulled an uppercut, elbowed him the opponent, and then just uppercutted him in retaliation, putting him to sleep. Like Masvidal decided to go as stiff as a fish there. I don't think fishes go very stiff.
That's my performance of the night.
That
I've
was
gotta
a
say that.
definite
How clean
performance.
it was.
However, that was the co-main event. We are now on to the co-main event, Mr. Humbledink versus Big Balls Ned. These two are notorious. Yeah, these two are notorious in terms of their fighting capability. You've seen Humble get a couple of first-round finishes. You've seen Ned get a couple of first-round finishes. Ned has fought Bang Bang on multiple occasions. Ned is probably second to none in terms of styles when it comes to Bang Bang. Just Bang Bang is better at it because he understands every little perk, quirk, and thing about it. That's why he's up here as champ, defending his title tomorrow. But without further ado, let's get straight into this fight between Humble and Big Balls Ned.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, you know, Ned not a part of the Lethal Weapons anymore. He was in there with me, in there with us per se. And I can say, you know, as sparring with him, I learned quite a few good things. As playing with him, I know how good he is. He is very capable of, you know, being the top player in this league. But he's standing across the octagon from KIA. Humble, Matty. What does that mean?
I mean, obviously, this is a huge opportunity for both of them. It's going to be high pressure on the line, a lot at stake here. Their future in prime time rides a lot on this fight. So maybe a bit of caution from both of them, but let's hope for a good first round finish because we all love them. We all love the violence.
We love seeing someone's head getting taken off, and both of these guys being at this same, you know, probably this same co-main event fight multiple times and wanting to get past that threshold. So let's see who takes advantage and see if they can get maybe a title contention match after that, maybe, and capitalize on a big win right here.
Well, a head kick landed by Tony Ferguson. We have Adi Alvarez already getting ducked by the hook. Humble making it gritty and dirty. Looking to work that clinch work. Does nearly get clipped by that elbow. And we're only 40 seconds left into it. Oh, I have issues. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
I was about to say.
Oh, bollocks. Well, we only missed the first minute. You only missed a head kick, and that was about it. Now we see hit Ned on this. Oopsie daisy. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time.
Hey, we're all human. It happens. You know, you got the Ferguson pick with Humbledink right here. Got to be worried about the ground and the elbows on standing and Big Balls Ned going with Eddie Alvarez. Yeah, Eddie Alvarez. I know he loves to use Alvarez, man. It's one of his main fighters, so definitely in his comfort zone right here, and being on the ground also in his comfort zone, Matty.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing some good work right now, just maintaining control of this fight, just passing that guard, getting a little bit of damage off every now and again. Humble sprawling out, gonna try and use the cage to get up on Stewart. No, Big Balls Ned, smart decision there, just get up.
Yeah, interesting get up though. I mean, he's kind of had him at his advantage there on the ground, but chooses to get up, wants to strike with Tony. Oh, no, spinning elbow almost catches him, and we know how lethal those are coming from Tony. You do not want to get caught with one of those.
1-2 head kick attempt there.
Humble just throwing balls to the wall right now.
He really is. He's playing like Big Ned's name. In fact, he's trying to showcase that instead of Big Balls Ned having the big balls, it's Mr. Humbledink with the big balls. And now he's like starting to play a bit aggressive. Front kick does land there. Tries to play the aggressive game, but again, Ned's taking it on the chin. Takedown gets shot. We're in the clinch position. He's making it dirty. He's making it gritty. But it just seems like Eddie Alvarez is having more success here.
Yeah, landing the bigger shots is Alvarez.
Oh, beautiful head kick from Ned, drops him.
Big head kick right there and a big double body hook coming back up, and he's just capitalizing right now, landing big shots on Ferguson. Sorry, Matty, go ahead.
I mean, he's just picking him apart with the hands, it seems, thus far. Mixing in a nice kick every now and again, but the hands, the body work, it's what really is paying dividends right now, it seems, for Ned. Humble's having a few problems just getting his rhythm going, it seems. Doug.
Yeah, it does seem so. It just seems like Eddie Alvarez is having a bit more effective times. He's a bit more patient. He's a bit more willing to let Humble lead the fight, but then counter off it. So unlike when you normally have someone leading the fight and you're playing second fiddle to it, it seems like he's playing the first fiddle, but letting the second fiddle lead in some cases. And in this case, Humble's just having that difficulty getting ahead and leading the fight.
Yeah, that's very true. But big rock there by Ned.
Close to the body as well.
Big mix-ups, body head by Ned. Working those body hooks, really digging down deep on Ferguson, making him think, do I got to block high? Do I got to block low? But Humbledink, somebody you cannot count out of any situation. He's probably came back from far worse, so can't count him out. But beautiful job right here by Alvarez, Matty.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, but a big head kick from Humbledink there. Finally gets one of the rock in his favour, but
Ferguson returning the body hooks.
Ned's just been picking him apart on the back foot, taking him down.
Yeah, and then getting this takedown, obviously, helps him out in the favor with the judges just a little bit more also as well. If it does go to that, I hope it doesn't. But playing a very smart game right now is Ned. And one of the things that I always thought was one of Ned's strong suits. Interesting to check the stats while in the middle of
middle rounds checking stats. Not many people do that.
One thing I think about sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to say 2 minutes 30 left on the clock, so it's a fairly slow pace here. Ferguson's got the bottom game, but he's not having very much success getting it to the full guard. Ned's on top using Eddie very slowly. He doesn't want to commit to anything because he knows how dangerous someone like Ferguson is on the ground, so any type of reversal is going to cause issues. And so it's a slow, methodical pace, very technical in its nature, Purple.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say was one of Big Balls Ned's biggest strong suits of his game is his fight IQ. He knows what to do in what situation, and right here, I mean, he's got the rocks. He knows he's up, and he takes him to the ground. And in a big situation like this, he doesn't want to risk it, going crazy on the feet or anything. Being really smart on the ground. What do you think, Doc?
It's not on the ground, maybe the idea. Humble, I notice, has this ability to stay patient. He's very methodical in his approach, so your opponent doesn't do much damage. You can normally maintain the position, but he's looking for the last 10 seconds where someone gets on the feet, he puts on the pressure, and he somehow gets to get winched around. In this case, I feel like the stamina of Ferguson, although he's known for his cardio, it just isn't viable, and so it's the wrong counter at the wrong moment, and ducks under, digs down to that body, gets dropped there, and lovely job there by Ned to close out the second round. Again, it seems to be the case of Ned's finding the bigger counter shot windows, and thus he's doing a better job on it by the seems of it here, May.
Yeah, very much so. He's been on the back foot near enough this entire fight, but even though he hasn't been maintaining the rhythm, he's showing people how to.
Wow, Humble, right, but Gum touching him, digging down to the body, already paying him for it in every bit of money. Elbow does land, overhand follows suit. Somehow
He's alive with
has
zero
no head health or no body.
And body.
Yeah, and yet he was still standing.
Yeah. I don't think Ned took that front kick out of the gate too well, because he is absolutely torching him right now. Oh, yeah, puts him down again.
Pissing him off. Look at him.
He's pissing him off.
I think he's coming for blood now. He said, "I'm not playing it safe no more. I'm about to take your head off, son." But backing off a little bit right now. Chilling out. Playing safe, not getting caught by those flying knees.
That's a way to get caught.
He catches him with the big head kick, he needs...
The head health difference and the body health difference is too much at this point, isn't it?
Well, the uppercut lands him. Humble's just trying any type of shots here. Uppercut, overhand lands there, digs down to that body, goes up top. Ned hoping for one shot, gets the payback. Oh, it's going to be big.
Again.
Yeah, and like I said, man, you can't count someone like Humble out, but Ned also capitalizing. Man, Humble's body health is so low right now. It's taunt.
Oh my god. Man. Both of these suckers are just going at it non-stop. In elbow attempts get ended by the hook. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. Both of them going back at it. Uppercut there, hook there. One thing to do, and it seems like neither of them can find this one last shot to end each other. Oh my god, these two.
I still can't get over that front kick at the beginning of the round. I really think it just set that tone for Ned on how he was going to approach this last round. And,
there's
the shot. There it is.
He slipped a knee and he basically put himself on the uppercut. Eddie Alvarez went up, Ferguson came down, chin met hand, out for the count.
That's the most
from Ned.
KO of the night. KO of the night by hands down, in my opinion.
And
that was absolutely beautiful.
So we've seen that fight, we've seen the fight previous. Both of them have been dominations within their own right, but now we get to the main event of this evening. The winner of this will be the title challenger against Fanator at PT 50. That's a landmark in itself. Having the vacant Xbox title being fought for is another landmark you should all put in your calendar. And so, Keza versus FSK champ. Only one winner, 3 FSK people on the line to win the champion. Does it really matter who wins the belt? Or is it going to be one for all and all for one will be the question on tonight's Minds. We've got McGregor versus Masvidal. Both of them picked their fighters earlier on in the week, as is custom for this type of stuff. No fighters have been banned. Both of them are all lobbied up, have definitely not eaten the tiramisu for tonight. And so, let's get this fight on the road.
Interesting to see the spar record there. Hundreds of fights between them, so they're going to know each other very well, know each other's little tricks and secrets.
Well, hundreds of fights.
That just makes me think, man, that this one might not last that long. There's probably not going to be that much of a feeling out process. These two know each other so well; they know how to attack each other. God ate my pig with a definitive win on on the win-loss record right there, but still, hundreds of wins on Kaz's side. So this is interesting how this is going to go. Two amazing strikers in McGregor and Masvidal going at it, Doc.
Well, another flying knee there attempt. McGregor already looking with the big counters. Lovely spin heel kick there. And both of these fighters are going at it at a very slow, steady pace. Does deep down there. And again, Keza is just hoping for one time to shot him. Gamp, on the other hand, same fairly patient. He's not throwing much. Does whip the kick there, though.
Yeah, that was almost really bad for Keza right there. Masvidal, that spin kick. Like I said, not much of a filling out process. These two are just going balls to the wall. Masvidal with the overhands, the flying knees, and McGregor, teeing off a little bit. Matty D, what do you think?
I mean, you're seeing Keza, but like he always does, forward pressure constantly. But Gampy's taking the back foot approach right now. He's working the body well. He's coming back with some good jab forward pressure as he's doing. Deeps as he's coming in. He's doing some good work as he's coming in, and he's outworking Keza right now.
Almost a big rock right there. He missed with the front kick and ate a beautiful timed uppercut by Gamp. And, this is a beautiful showing by McGregor right here so far. I believe. He's keeping that distance, keeping him pushed back, really making it his fight.
You just knew when you seen these two matched up on paper that there was going to be a banging fight like this. You just
lovely little body kick there. Gets the body stun. Jabbing off on that jab, working that block down, then probably going to look for shots afterwards. They've got 5 rounds to work. It seems like Keza doesn't want 5 rounds. He only wants 1, and he wants a long one. However, it seems like Gamp is happy to slowly pick his opponent apart. Doubles, triples. I think it was 4 hooks or so. Thinking about it now.
It was 3 hooks and then straight.
Oh, that's definitely an interesting time.
Doesn't let him jump on there for some reason, even though he clearly tried.
And, Masvidal has to be careful here. These teeps are going to add up over these rounds. They do little damage, but they're going to add up. And the body health already suffering majorly on Masvidal, and the stamina. He gets rocked. This is not good. The health for Keza going down quickly.
I mean, Gamp's just in solid control of this fight right now. He's just cruising his way along, working that body really well. Keza coming back when he can, but this forward pressure, it's only doing Gamp favors at this point.
Yeah, he's really dictating how he wants this fight to go, the striking battle. Like you said, Keza getting the shots when he wants to, but being a little reckless with the flying knees and the big shots, wasting more stamina than he needed to. Also eating a lot of body work by McGregor. What do you think he needs going into the second here, Doc?
Well, not get flying knee would be the idea for Gamp. However, the elbow stun did it there. These two are, well, that's an interesting time. And another one. So, both of these are...
And the pull misses.
Yeah, the pull, and a couple more pulls, and hopefully one of them finally lands. But who particularly sure at this rate? Gamp is having a fantastic time. Does get head kicked, though. Masvidal gets body kicked in retaliation. Masvidal is kind of not really having the best of times. He's getting clipped by everything McGregor seems to throw. Gamp just seems a bit more in tune with every type of style. As I say that, though, Keza just comes back with a 4-piece.
It's simply a case of when you're constantly walking into the punch, you are going to get hit by the punch, it seems.
Well, I mean, maybe Keza's style is to walk forward, get punched, and hopefully give back more than he takes, but so far seems to be working somehow.
He's 3 stuns so far.
He's definitely...
He's kind of working, but it just kind of seems like so much of an uphill battle right now.
I mean, the stamina is definitely the uphill battle, unless McGregor gets dropped somehow and Keza jumps on him. If he gets a lucky, not really lucky, just well-timed shot, I would say, maybe he stands a better chance, but until then, it seems like Gamp is having the better time.
If Gamp plans on this going past 3-4 rounds, like I'm saying, boys, these teeps are gonna add up. He is working those body front kicks very well, and the body can't take much more as he body rocked him right there. He's just tap, 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 like you said, Maddie, doing what he's got to do to that body, tap, tap, tap.
There we are. I guess
I
the
don't think it's a case of tap, tap, tap anymore. That's what we're seeing earlier on. I think it's a case of him swinging at his liver and going, fuck off.
Oh,
That should have been
almost
a
ended it.
KO, but he gets knocked down with a pull elbow. Both of these two just having a last flurry of every shot in the book, it seems. Masvidal has stamina lower than the word stamina. His body's constantly blinking. His head's not far
He's
off.
stumbling all over. He's drunk.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely need a few drinks after this to make sure your beating definitely doesn't hurt anymore. The body kick landing there, that liver.
Recommended after the amount of body damage he's taken.
Nearly does by the head spinning heel kick. Jab comes out there, looks at the uppercut there in retaliation. Flying knee follows, but the hook
And
puts him out.
It's over.
And Gamp does
What a
it.
performance from Gamp there.
And well.
And he gets to move on to fight Fadinator.
Yeah. So that's it. After following pay-per-view tomorrow, we have Deaglefly. Not Deaglefly, he was recently beaten. We do have Deaglefly on the main card though next week. We have next week? Tomorrow. Okay, let me restart. So stick around, we should be rating at the end, but also make sure to stick around for tomorrow's event of Primetime MMA 49. We'll have Deaglefly. Filthy Uncle Ben look to make a title challenge against Bang Bang in the co-main event. You got Trixie and Pug, and across the board you got some great fights. So that has been Fight Night 37, top to bottom. We've just seen the number one contender fight happen across the board. You've had some fantastic fights, you two have got to admit here.
Absolutely brilliant,
definitely.
start to finish. There was not a single decision that entire card, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we had a lot of third round KOs, to be fair. We did have one sub in terms of Mikey, so congratulations to all. Please, people, make sure to stay away from the tiramisu. We'd rather not have another food poison incident. But with that all being said, done and dusted, this card's been a great card to commentate, great card to view across the board. Well done to the competitors as well. I believe we should be rating at the end, so please stick around for that. But from that, this has been Prime Time, and have a good night.